Good evening, everyone, from Knowles Field on the campus of St. Christopher's in Richmond, Virginia. Tonight, the Saints will play host to the Bulldogs of Bullis. I'm Chip Tarkenton, along with head basketball coach Hamill Jones. And Coach, great to be with you tonight. This is going to be a lot of fun.
It sure is, Chip, and this is an honor. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, and to be in the booth with you on a Friday night watching the Saints, couldn't ask for anything more.
These two teams, interesting as they begin the season. The Saints 2-0 started off very fast. Bullis is 1-1. A little bit surprising with all of the Division I signings already that they've got commitments. 4 commitments out of this Bullis team already going to some big schools next year.
It's going to be a great test for the Saints. It's very rare in high school football to face a team that has 4 Division I commits on offense. So the Saints are going to have to work to contain number 0, Cedric Udy, number 1, receiver Connor Salmon, number 2, Chris Tangelo, and number 8, Javante Williams, a Cincinnati, Clemson, Vanderbilt, and Maryland commit. But I think the Saints are going to be up to the task.
Captains are at the middle of the field with the toss of the coin for tonight's game. A good crowd on hand. It's beautiful weather here in Richmond this evening. Wherever you are, we are glad that you are watching our contest tonight, and thrilled to be back when Stephen Lewis, the AD here, Associate AD for SID. Now he's a little of every D now, and he's a number 1 D. Started this years ago. He and I had the opportunity to do these games, and I always loved coming back to St. Chris to do some football.
The program that he's put together has been remarkable. The boys do a fantastic job, and so to sub in for them tonight and broadcast, it's a special night.
So Bullis won the toss of the coin and is elected to receive, and they will be going from our right to our left. So we'll get a good look at those offensive folks that we were talking about just a moment ago as we get ready to kick it off. Great job by the Sensations tonight, too, with the national anthem. I hope you were able to hear that. And these two schools are ready to meet on the gridiron. Big contest for both teams. Saints trying to stay unbeaten. Bullis trying to go to 2-1 on the season and not drop back to a deficit. And there are a lot of people on that team. Let's talk quickly. I want to mention this because I think we need to get this out. The head coach for Bullis is Skylar Springs. You may not know that name right off the bat, but he's the son of Sean Springs, who played in the National Football League, played for the Washington Redskins when they were the Redskins. His granddad, who's passed some years ago, was Ron Springs, the late Ron Springs. He played also in the NFL. Both of those guys went to Ohio State. That's pretty good, too. Pretty good football there. And Skylar now took it over in 2023. And there's another Sean on the roster tonight, too.
And that's the younger brother of the head coach. So definitely some familiar names on the sideline for Bullis. You might also recognize the name Jamie Sharper out of Richmond. Went to Hermitage High School and played for the University of Virginia before a lengthy NFL career.
He was a great player. My goodness, a great player.
And the Saints have some outstanding coaches as well. The Saints are led by Lance Cleland in his 12th year. He brings in a record of 67-42 to the Saints during his time, including 3 Prep League championships, and we're going to hopefully make it a 4th this year.
Great coaching staff, as you mentioned. This is going to be fun tonight. St. Christopher's will be kicking off, and the guy that really does every bit of the kicking that you can find is William Sterling, wearing 99. He kicks, he punts. At one point, I think he was selling popcorn over the concession stand during the halftime during the year. He's that good a guy.
He's that good a guy and an incredibly hard worker. It's fun to see him out here kicking for the Varsity because he was out here all by himself as a younger kid working on his kicking because he knew that this is what he wanted to do, and there's not a harder working kid in the program, and he's been a weapon for the Saints this year.
So back deep for Bullis is Udy wearing number 1, and also Wallace wearing number 11. And we're underway. Bounces up, picked up at about the 18 and fumbled. A lot of folks around the football, but coming back up with it is Wallace, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own 20-yard line.
That was great placement on the kick by William Sterling. recognizing where the hole was. That's probably something that the Saints coaching staff picked up in their film review, and William did a perfect job of squibbing it into the right spot.
And you want neither one of those two guys that were deep to get their hands on the ball coming in the air so they could take off going in that direction. So first possession of the night. Bullis with the ball at their own 20. Dylan Faust is a quarterback. He will turn and fake, looking deep. Flag's going to fly. That's going to be a little bit of holding there as Chris Tangelo got open, but he got open and got a little grab from behind, and so that'll go against the Saints.
He is a Vanderbilt commit. Vanderbilt has had quite a resurgence in football. Last year they beat the Alabama Crimson Tide when they were the #1 team in the country.
So a penalty on first down will move the ball and the chains. Go from the 20-yard line. As the official marking it off right now, we'll take it all the way to the 35.
Sometimes a penalty on the deep ball is not the worst thing in the world because it's not a touchdown.
Correct. And it looked like Tangelo had a little bit of a gap beginning to spin away. So the official first play may come this time if no penalties again. Faust in the backfield again, same setup. This time I hand it straight ahead, and there is nothing doing in there. That was Sean Springs. He might have made it back to the line of scrimmage, but there are a whole lot of Saints around that football, including Darius Gray, one of them. You knew he'd be in the middle of it, came straight ahead. He was in the middle of that thing.
For the Saints defense, it starts up front with their defensive line. Darius Gray, number 74. We all know about him. Number 54, Drew Pendlebury. 44, Lance Cleland. We've got MJ Crocker, number 30, who's really worked hard in the offseason at the right defensive end. They are a tough front to run the football against.
Faust going deep again. Just a little bit too far outside the arms of Salmon, who just was trying to find some way to get a little space between the defensive back and him. Good coverage. It'll bring up a third down and about 9 1/4 to go.
It's nice to see number 1 back on the field for the Saints. That's Elijah Asari, West Point commit, student council president. Excellent coverage on that. We're already seeing that Bullis is going to try to test the Saints deep, knowing how formidable the St. Christopher's run defense is.
In the first 2 games, Bullis has thrown the ball better average per point, per play. Everything is more in that direction, so that's why they throw it. And like you said, got some great targets to go to. Big third down here for St. Christopher's defense. Fake it straight ahead. Faust had it tapped by Darius Gray, got his hand on it, knocked it down, and it goes out of bounds. And first possession in and out. Good job by the Saints defense, and it'll be a punting situation for Bullis.
Great pressure. It's nice if that 4-man defensive front can get to the quarterback, and then the linebackers, Charlie Gunn, Charlie Edmonds, and E.B. Brandon, who's had 2 pick sixes the last 2 weeks, can drop into coverage and help the secondary.
Chris Tangelo is standing back to kick it away, and he's just across the 20-yard line. And back for St. Chris is J.J. Tidwell, a junior. Good defensive first possession for the Saints. Got a whistle on the field. Could be a delay.
The Saints have lots of multi-sport athletes on the field. J.J. Tidwell is also a lacrosse player. He worked hard in the offseason, lifting, getting faster. Let's see if we can get him in the open field on a punt return.
Delay of game was the call. It backs the football up to just outside the 30-yard line. We'll go ahead and call it the 31. Snap is back. A little bit of pressure, but he gets it off. Kind of away from everybody, but it takes a really good bounce for the Bulldogs and will come to rest at about the 22-yard line. The 20 is when it's going to come to a complete stop, and so the Saints will have it from their own 20-yard line at the 10:43 mark of the first quarter. Hamlin, outstanding defense at first time, and you've really got to set the table if you're the defense. You've got to come out and say, hey, we're going to be tough to run on, tough to throw on, and that's what the Saints did that first possession.
Outstanding start. Now, part of playing good defense is actually playing good offense too, because we want to possess the football and keep the playmakers from Bullis off the field. So let's see here if the Saints can put together a lengthy drive starting from the 20-yard line.
Chase Roberts brings the team out on the field wearing number 7. He's 19 of 37, 2 touchdowns, 212 yards passing this year. Man in motion is Jaron Johnson. Aiden White will go off the left side. There's some room over there, and he plows it forward. But the ball came loose, and it looks like they're going to rule it down. They are. They're going to rule it down, but the ball did come loose. But after the whistle had blown for a nice pickup, close to 5 yards on the first play.
Aiden White has done a great job carrying the load at running back. The Saints miss their captain, one of their captains, Walker Turley, number 0, who's working to come back from injury. Aiden averages about 5.8 yards per carry. His long is 20 on the season. He's tough to bring down. He's a powerful runner.
Second down, we're going to call it 6. Turning, handed straight ahead. There's a gaping hole, and look at the run up the field across the 40-yard line before he's finally knocked down by Tangelo, but not before the chains will move. And what a great job by that offensive line on that series there. Boy, I'm telling you what, that was a big hole out to the 41.
This is one of the most impressive offensive lines in St. Christopher's history. The 5 guys up front average 266 pounds. They're all good athletes. They've got chemistry having played together. And they're well coached, with Coach Clellan being an offensive lineman at Northwestern back in his playing days, and Coach Miller being a former college offensive lineman as well.
It's time to pass, goes to the outside, and it is picked off. Went right through the hands and right into the hands of the defender. Was trying to go out on a quick out, and Sean Springs made the interception after it went through the Saint offensive receiver, and a pickoff right there at the 45-yard line. It'll be Bullis football.
Tough break for the Saints, but now we're going to get to see our defense again, and that's part of football. How do you bounce back when a play doesn't go your way?
Yeah, one of those unfortunate happenings where the catch would have made a big deal. You could have kept the drive alive, just went through the hands. And, boy, Springs made a really nice play to haul that thing in. So second possession, but this time for Bullis, it's in St. Chris territory. 9:16 remains in our first quarter from the 45 of St. Chris. Handed straight ahead, a little bounce to the outside, and that's only going to pick up a yard or 2. That time, Giovanni Fernandez comes in, a 5'7", 165-pounder, kind of changes up their offense because he's a little more difficult to see on the other side of the ball. They've run him a lot this year. Maybe give him a yard on the play, but the defense for St. Chris, I mean, they are rallying to the football like crazy.
Our secondary is going to need to stay ready as well. We've got Austin Robinson playing cornerback on the far side, Colin Johnson at safety, along with Finn Walter, number 12. They're going to have to be active back there to stop the Bullis deep passing game.
Faust looking for somewhere to go. Got his man. It's open. It's complete. It'll be a first down and then some all the way down to about the 20-yard line. That's Chris Tangelo again. The Vanderbilt man headed that way. Going to be a Commodore. Looked good on that play. And a good pass, good catch, and a first down for the Bulldogs.
Bullis is going to make plays. Now, the key when we get down in the red zone, field shrinks. Can our front line get to the Bullis quarterback? Not as much room to throw the football.
Yeah, Faust gets rid of it pretty quickly if he can. He's running a pretty good job. Quick out there, complete. That's Salmon. We knew about him as well. Nice tackle that time, bringing him down. Not much of a gain on that play, but Finn Walter hauling him in for a short gain of, we'll say, 2 yards. So it'll be second down and 8. Deliberate offense by Bullis. They take their time. They've already had one penalty for delay of game. very methodical of what they're doing. It's like they really want to make decisions on what they're going to do, which is actually good for your defense. You got a chance to get a quick blow, too, before you have the next play. Handoff. Got some room around the outside, but knocked out of bounds. That's Fernandez again. He's knocked down right at the stripe. Elijah making the stop over there, Brandon.
Nice misdirection run there, and good job by Elijah Brandon sniffing out the play and making the tackle. Third and 5.
Just need to throw it. Elijah's pretty good about running that thing back pretty good. Big third down. Fernandez flanks Faust. Faust under some pressure, late pressure, throws it away, and he's lucky he got it away because there was a lot of Saints coming at him, including Charlie Edmonds, who was there, and Darius Gray, slow to get up, and so is the quarterback, Faust. He really got popped.
He did. Certainly hope he's okay. It's the unfortunate part of football when you see somebody go down, and we're going to take a break and hope that Faust gets up and is ready to continue playing.
Well, the good news right now is that Dylan Faust is walking off the field under his own power. He just took a pop for sure and does not look serious, and that's a good sign right there.
We're really glad to see him up and walking off to the sideline. Hope he is fine. You want to see both teams playing at their best with everybody healthy. Two Saints arrived at the same time, and glad to see him walking off on his own power. Big fourth down here for the Saints. 4th and 5.
And they're in a triangle formation, and that's Salmon with us, going to try to just outrun everybody, but he's not going to get there. Tackle from behind by Finn Walter, who's really playing great tonight. That was a saving tackle there because he gets around the corner. He gets in the end zone.
That's a big-time play from Finn Walter. Finn is also a lacrosse player, excellent athlete. Not bad to run down a Clemson commit on the outside and make a big 4th down tackle. Coming off the interception, especially after Bullis had a couple of nice plays, that's exactly the kind of stop that Saints fans want to see.
So St. Christopher's takes over the football. The Saints do at their own 18-yard line. 6:15 remaining in our first quarter, and it is scoreless. But as we've said, there's been some really good hitting and some good football early in this game.
Saints are in what is known as the 21 personnel with 2 receivers wide, a running back, and a tight end.
Straight up the middle goes Roberts, who's had some success running the football this year. Let's see where they mark him. Looks like it's about the 23-yard line, so a nice pickup on first down of about 5, close to 6 yards. And that's something that a quarterback that can do that really helps your offense if you've got a quarterback that can run the football.
Coming into the game, Chase is 18 carries for 69 yards. He's not necessarily he's a strong kid, and he's not necessarily looking to run all the time. He's an excellent passer, but he keeps you honest with his ability to run and pass like that.
Nice little inside screen look. Tidwell takes it and gets all the way to the 40-yard line. Big gain on that play of about 14 yards. And the Saint machine is starting to move along a little bit here.
This variation in offense is exactly what the Saints want to do. Be able to run the ball, quick screen game, passing game, and then at the appropriate time, Coach Clellan will also take a shot down the field. Very unpredictable if you're a defensive coordinator trying to figure out what you're going to do against the Saints.
Jaron Johnson, a nice block to help spring him on that play. They're going to go straight ahead, and there's a lot of room right up the gut. Still on his feet, inside the 30-yard line. That is what you want to see. Aiden White has been the runner all year, but there's a flag back at the 45-yard line of St. Christopher's. Could be a holding. Holding is the call, but boy, I like seeing White hit that hole, and he just keeps his head down and keeps moving.
Even though there was a penalty on that play, it's still a good sign for the Saints that we're going to be able to run the football. Coach Clellan, I think, will stay with it. That's part of our game plan, so we can't let a penalty keep us from doing what we're going to do best.
So it went from the point of the infraction, so it's backed up only 5 yards, so it's first down and 15 from the 35-yard line. Got to get just across the midfield stripe for the first down. It's first down, 15 yards to go.
Jaron Johnson, number 3, is in motion for the Saints.
Tidwell again. He's got a block. He's got the first down and then some. He had to get horse wrangled down that time, or he's still running. Sam Waldman, one of the captains for Bullis, had to just make the tackle all by himself. But the chains move again.
Creative play design, putting Jaron Johnson in motion to the wide side of the field and then throwing the screen back to the short side. All eyes are going to follow Jaron because he's that downfield threat. Good play call, good execution.
Same two on the opposite side of the field this time. Johnson, the inside man, Tidwell on the outside. Rolling left, nice little dump pass. That is caught. Pickup of about 4 or 5 yards on the play as he went to the fullback. Lance Clellan makes a nice play to catch the ball. Very tough coming out of that fullback spot to turn back and have to make that catch, but he does so.
Lance is a multi-dimensional fullback. Excellent blocker, powerful runner, and as you saw, he can come out of the backfield and catch and turn and run. Keep an eye out for number 87, the tight end for the Saints, Nate Roberts, also excellent pass catcher, as well as a big, strong run blocker.
3 yards on the play. They go to right again. White got a lot of room. Tell you what, he just picks his way through little holes, and that is another really strong run, this time all the way down to the 30-yard line, and the Saints continue to have a great drive right out. This drive started on their own 18-yard line.
This drive is St. Christopher's football. Chunks of yards at a time, time-consuming, multiple players touching the ball, creative play calling.
Well, the amazing thing this year is St. Christopher's has outscored the first two opponents 30-0 in the first half. Add another 21-13 in the third quarter. So they like to score. White again off the left side has some room there. It's shut down in a hurry, but not before he picks up about 4 yards on the play, and another good run, another good positive play call. Jameer Wallace making the stop for the Bulldogs.
Eric Pendlebury, number 43, did a nice job coming in at fullback and helping to lead the way for Aiden White on that run.
Waiting for the play call on the sideline. The Bullis group are telling us they came down early today because they wanted to avoid traffic. And I thought, wow, if you're going to Potomac, Maryland, you're going to get traffic going that way too. So they knew what the traffic was. Get out of the way. Whistle goes before the snap.
They were down here at about 1:30 this afternoon. I guess better to err on the side of caution and get down here early.
Absolutely. I heard some of the players talking about, yeah, we left early because we didn't want to get in any traffic. So St. Christopher's takes their first time out of the quarter and of the first half. Give us some overview a little bit there, Coach Jones. You know, if you're coaching, well, how do you assess the first quarter almost done? How do you assess how the Saints have done so far?
I like how the Saints have responded to some situations that haven't gone their way. Interception on a tip pass, Saints get a stop. Have a great run, called back for a penalty. The Saints don't hang their head. They get the first down back, and they're marching down the field. That's the sign of a mature team. It's a long game. There are going to be ups and downs, and the Saints need to continue to stick to their game plan and execute with confidence and play through adversity like they've done so far.
Something that you mentioned that I'd say when you're coaching the basketball team too, when you have a bunch of returners coming back, you're always a foot or two ahead of where you were the year before because they've got experience. Snap back, fake this time to White, and it's going to be picked off. Second pickoff that was on a tip ball, and that's Tangelo again with an interception.
Tough break for the Saints.
Got a player down on the field. Can't see the number just yet, but it is another Bullis player right at the 30-yard line. That pass was tipped. 2 tipped interceptions, and as a quarterback, I can promise you, you don't like having two tipped that were intercepted when you thought you had a completed pass.
Certainly don't, and I know a moment ago I was talking about responding to adversity, and it's a good thing to be able to do. I don't think we want to have to do it all the time, but Saints are going to have an opportunity to bring their defense out on the field once again. Bullis is backed up. Sometimes you have to win a football game that's maybe a little bit ugly and not going exactly how you want, and you have to play the field position game.
It's Giovanni Williams that's going off the field. He's that Maryland commit, and it's good that he's up and walking off the field under his own power. So Bullis will have their third opportunity here in the first quarter, 1:45 to go, and they will start this inside their own 20 at about the 16.5-yard line. Handoff. Oh, look at the defense right there. Good gracious. A lot of folks around that football. Elijah Asari was the first one to get there, and then some help came on. Charlie Edmonds jumping in. That was a great job of playing defense there. A loss of 5 yards against the running back who just, there wasn't anywhere to go. But as soon as he got to football, they were there. That was Sean Springs.
Saints are going to be hard to run against all game. And the benefit of that is we're going to be able to hopefully predict when a pass is going to come.
Get them in a passing situation like now, maybe, because you want to be a little cautious. Flags thrown. Could be a delay of game. Or a sideline warning, I think is what he just said. I think the official gave a sideline warning over on the St. Christopher side. I'm not really sure who was out there. Yeah, it is.
Now with Bullis behind the chains right now, it's starting to set up potential passing situations. If we can continue to get to the quarterback with 4, we can drop our linebackers and safeties in coverage, make it tough for Bullis to pass.
Dylan Faust back in the game. He went down, as you remember, just a little while ago, running for the sidelines, and he gets out just about where the, just a little past where the ball was originally. He gets to the 20-yard line, so that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. Good pursuit by the St. Chris defense. They pulled up a flag. The head referee had dropped one on the side over there. There might have been a penalty, but they had a quick discussion, the officials did, doing a really good job of managing this game. 3rd down, 7 to go.
Charlie Edmonds, number 4. Looked like he was coming on a blitz, dropped into
Faust throws,
coverage.
and there's a lot of yellow on the field now. I got a feeling that Ben Walter might have got connected with the legs of the receiver a little bit. And they're not going to let you get away with that. And that's a call, interference.
That's an occurrence on the Saints, 15-yard penalty, good enough for a first down.
15-yard penalty will move it up to the 35-yard line.
Chip, to give you a basketball reference, sometimes in basketball, it's good to commit a foul. And sometimes a penalty can be a good thing.
Yep, I'm with you.
It's better than a touchdown. Let's make Bullis drive down the field. Eventually, maybe one of those tip passes that they've gotten will come our way.
Quick reverse to go with Salmon. He doesn't just catch it, he can run it pretty good too, and he is up near the midfield stripe before he's run out of bounds, but that'll move the change for a first down. You know, you got an athlete like that, you got to get the ball in his hands, and that was a good job of getting it in that guy's hands. Whoa.
Nice play. Clemson wants him. Yeah, Dabo Sweeney is going to enjoy having some plays for him when he gets down to Clemson.
1st and 10, nose of the football touching the midfield stripe. Bullis with their 3rd possession. Faust throws it. It was tipped. They're saying it was caught. And it was by Jameer Wallace. And that's the end of the first quarter.
Chip, we've got Hill Butler down on the sideline. We're going to see if we can go to Hill for a report.
I'm here with Coach Whitlow. Both teams held scoreless here in this first quarter. Coach, how are you feeling about the team's performance?
Well, I think it's terrific right now. We really didn't know what to expect from this team. We knew they were good. A couple of bad breaks. Moving the ball.
And this is a team with 4 Division I offers, Bullis is. What's the team's mindset coming into this game regarding that?
Good, really, really good.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
You guys were able to. Hope you guys were able to hear Coach Whitlow. We're working on the sideline reporting for the first time. Yeah. But Coach Whitlow, always positive, optimistic, feels good about where we are, 0-0. And I think he said that the breaks that didn't go our way are going to start going in our favor.
Well, he probably knows better than anybody. Got some first quarter stats. We'll pass those along here in just a moment. Dropping back. That ball might have been tipped as it was coming out of the hands. I'm not so sure that St. Chris didn't get their hands on that football a little bit on the rush. I think Elijah might have gotten there. It looked like it to me because the pass did not look like it was thrown like Faust normally throws the football. So it'll be a 3rd down and about 4 to go for the Bulldogs. For the defense for St. Christopher's. That first quarter really, really playing well.
Greg Toon, defensive coordinator, always has good defenses, always prepared.
You hear the cowbells. Going to go straight ahead and going to get the first down and then some straight up the middle. And it's a first down. Fernandez all the way to the 30-yard line.
Flag on the play.
Yep. See the flag now?
Official on the far side calling holding, so that one's coming back.
So the holding will nullify that first down, be a penalty, and that'll make third down a whole lot longer than 4. But Fernandez had scooted right up the middle. And you see the official showing you what takes place.
That's the thing about making a team have to go a long way to score. Long drives oftentimes result in a team making a mistake, and then the team can try to get it all back at one time, and that's when good things might happen for St. Christopher's.
You're right.
3rd and 10.
It's a lot easier on defense than the 3rd and 4. Faust dropping back under some pressure. He's going to be brought down by Lance Clellan. A huge play, huge tackle, big loss on the play of about 12 yards. Maybe make it 13 where they spot it. Lance with a big play right there for the Saints, and that really helps now your punt team because Tidwell standing back at about the 30-yard line. It would have been at least another 10 or 12 yards back from that.
Playing that field position game, excellent stop by the Saints. Lance Cleland, in addition to being an outstanding football player, is a state champion wrestler, so he's got a motor. He was not going to be denied.
Kick is away from Tangelo. Tidwell catches it at the 30. He's got some room on the right side. He gets it up to about the 45-yard line if they give him that, and they will. So the Saints will have it at their own 45, some of the better field position they've had this first half.
Chip, going back to that last sack by Lance Cleland, one thing that you love to see as a coach is when your star player is excited for other players. Darius Gray got triple teamed on that play. He's that kind of player that he's going to draw that attention. But then when Lance got the sack, Darius is over there high-fiving him, hitting on the helmet, very excited for a teammate. That's when you know you've got great chemistry.
Darius Gray headed to South Carolina. I think that was a sensational decision. I think I told him that 2 years ago. Quarterback draw just goes straight up the pike there, and that's Roberts. Had some blocking in front of him, but pretty good defense that time by the Bulldogs.
A yard on the play for the Saints, and it may not seem like much, but you're moving forward. And now Bullis is always going to have to keep in the back of their mind that Chase Roberts can run the football. The Saints have done a good job all year of not playing from behind the chains.
Well, not used to this either. In the second quarter, they've been up in front of the first 2 games pretty good in the first quarter. Now you got to think about they really need to get a score here. White goes straight ahead. A lot of room there, and he's busted it through. Almost breaks it away, but he's brought down that time before he could get any further than the 30-yard line, and that's Tangelo again making another play, but a big gain on that run.
I didn't get the exact yardage, but coming into the game, Aiden's longest run was 20 yards, and I think he topped it on that one with about a 25-yarder.
Yep, it is. Saints got it going now. Give it to White again, and he just slipped on the turf and goes down, so he almost tackles himself with that because he was thinking of the cut, and he could have gone somewhere with that.
Saints have gone with a different formation with 3 receivers, removing the fullback, spacing out the Bullis defense, and sometimes during the course of the game, you want to throw different formations at the defense, see what works, see how they cover it. Coaches upstairs are probably looking at some opportunities to take a shot downfield as well.
You sure you don't coach football on the side?
I watch a lot of football.
I can tell. Some great analyst stuff. Timeout is taken by Bullis.
There's a lot of lessons that are transferable between both sports. One thing that is, I think, helpful to young men who play football and also play basketball are the angles that you take in each sport. If you're gonna set a block in football, it's very comparable to setting a screen in basketball. The positioning, being aware of how to get a teammate open or how to create a running lane for a teammate. And then, as we mentioned early, responding to the ups and downs that occur during the course of the game.
A couple of first quarter stats I just wanted to get in. Offensive plays, Bulldogs were 13 for 52 yards. St. Chris, 11 for 85. But this is something that I know Coach will want to talk about, and that was the penalties, 3 for 40 yards. And that's uncharacteristic of this football team. So 2nd down and 11 after the slip on the turf. Rolling to his right, got a man open. Tidwell making a great catch, and he's going to get in the end zone for the touchdown.
What a great throw and catch, Chase Roberts to J.J. Tidwell. We saw those hands right there. Now we understand why he's the kickoff return man as well,
yes.
Or punt returner.
Yes.
What a catch.
Well, the pass got there. He managed to haul it in. The defender missed, and J.J. turned around and said, good heavens, there's nothing but the land of milk and honey in front of me. And he raced into the end zone, 32 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Saints put the first numbers on the board, and now they'll attempt the extra point. William Sterling, 6 for 6 on the year. And it's perfect. 8:40 remains in the first half. St. Christopher strikes first. An outstanding drive to get it into the end zone. And it's 7-0 Saints.
Very impressive. Good balance between running and throwing. I like Chase Roberts. After a couple plays didn't go his way, still throwing the ball with confidence. Coach Clellan confident putting the ball in Chase's hands to make some throws. Excellent drive. Now it's time for that defense to come back on and get a stop.
Quick drive, 5 plays, 55 yards, and they take just a smidge over 2 minutes to get in there. Pretty good drive, pretty impressive, and you could just see it was going to happen at some point. Coach, I mean, too many times driven the football down the field and a couple of wrong bounces that go into the defenders. Slip and slide through the hands. Sterling hits the grounder and it's downed immediately at the 30-yard line. And we got some going-ons there in the middle of the 35-yard line. Flags all over the place. The Bullis player did an amazing job to catch that on one knee and stay down. That could have gone up all over the place. Squib kick, sometimes that's the best thing, you just fall on it because you don't want it to bounce all over the place.
And it's nice for the Saints because now you don't have to deal with a potential return.
Absolutely. Which I think is a great idea, kicking it deep to some of these athletes. I'm not so sure you don't want them to have the football.
Personal foul on both teams. Please all set. First down, Bulldogs.
Little frustration there from both Bullis and St. Christopher's. Offsetting penalties. Saw another flag fly on the far side. Not sure if a Bullis coach disagreed with the offsetting penalties.
I think you're right. Unsportsmanlike conduct is going to be the call, and that will back the football up from just across the 30-yard line. And it may have been. I think you had your eyes right on it, Coach.
So now St. Christopher's has an opportunity with Bullis backed up. I think Bullis is probably thinking we've created 2 turnovers, but we're trailing 7-0. Saints need to continue to make sure that they limit explosive plays, force Bullis to not try to get it all at one time, and then that allows our pass rushers to get to the quarterback.
How big would a 3-and-out be here?
3-and-out, or I could go for another one of those E.B. Brandon interception returns for a touchdown. I like that play.
Well, He likes the 95-yard one, so I think that's where he really likes it. First and 10 from the 18.
Now would be a good opportunity for the Saints crowd, which has packed the student section, to make an impact on the game, give this defense a lift. I think the theme for the night is America, so there's a lot of patriotism in the stands tonight.
Second down and 8. Dropping back, a lot of pressure. Faust is going to get to the outside, gets out of bounds. Pretty decent game because it could have been a sack. Darius Gray had him right in the eyes. He had him in the spot there, just couldn't get to him.
Darius knew it too. He was just inches away from tripping up Faust, but Darius's first cousin, EB, was there to make sure that Faust ran out of bounds.
Well, it's still 3rd and 5, but that was a little better than 3rd and 8. So Faust did a good job to avoid that. Big third down for both teams right now. 7-0. St. Christopher's on top after a 55-yard drive and a touchdown pass. Pass goes out. Great defense that time.
Austin Robinson read that perfectly.
Absolutely. He was all over. They were trying to go to Jameer Wallace, and there was no way that was happening. He smelled that out from the beginning.
What a great break on the football. And I like that he made sure that he batted it down to force a punt.
So the defense again holds. Tidwell moving up a little bit. He started at the 45. He's a little closer to the midfield stripe now. And Tangelo, who's had to take over some of the punting duties, is punting tonight. That's an end-over-ender. Oh, a lot of room on the near sideline. Tidwell sprinting down and gets inside the 30-yard line. Great field position. He had that about a 24, 25-yard return there.
Flag on the far side. We'll see what the call is.
That's in an interesting place where it was dropped, too, because that's not far from where the line of scrimmage was. Line of scrimmage is about the 22, and that thing was dropped about the 25. Well, the offense is coming on the field for St. Christopher's, so they think they're going to have the ball, and it's not going to make any difference. Let's see what the call is, Coach.
Personal foul on the Saints.
Personal foul has been called against the Saints, and that was a late flag that kind of dropped, Coach. I didn't see it drop. You were the one that saw it, but this is a huge turn of events right here because they're going to take it from when the initial reception was made. So it's going to be after the kick. So after possession became St. Chris's football. So the Saints still will have the football, but it's way back. It's back at the 33-yard line of St. Christopher's rather than being inside the 30.
That looks to be about a 40-yard differential, and those are the kinds of penalties that the Saints have to avoid moving forward.
White off the left side, runs into a lot of folks there, but moves the football forward. Some really nice blocking on that left side. Offensive linemen have done a nice job, and see big James Signeri, one of the guys, trying to block forward. Pick up a 5 on the play, second down and 5 from the 38-yard line.
With some of the flags of late and the game getting a little bit chippy, the Saints are going to need to respond, knowing how the game's going to be officiated. It looks like they're trying to they might have a tighter whistle now for some of the extracurricular plays moving forward.
Fake to White. Pass is across the middle and brought in again. Tidwell, JJ, is having a career night tonight. He picked that one up before it got to the turf and still was able to dive forward into Bulldog territory.
Chip, if we were writing a book of football terminology and we were going to put a picture for shoestring catch, I think we're taking a snapshot of that one.
I'm with you. It's a wonderful catch. First down in Bullis territory. 2 wides to the near side. Goes straight ahead to White. Moves it a little bit forward. Pick up maybe of 1 on the play. Could be.
Tidwell's got a bit of a hot hand, so that's a good thing. I'm sure Coach Clown will keep that in mind as well.
Looking at the spot, still looks like he gained a yard on that thing, but they're saying no gain on that. But I'm with you, Coach. That's the hot hand. Just throw it near him. He's got that glue on his hands right now.
Andy Hinks, number 8 in at receiver for the Saints. He brings some height for some of those higher passes.
He's in the middle of the trio that were wide on the right side. Pass is on the money. You talked about Hinks. He makes the catch. Move the change. A first down for the Saints.
He's talking about Andy's height, but he went down and got that one, Chip. Nice catch. Good throw.
Yeah, that was really good. And, well, you were Johnny on the spot with him lining up in the middle there. They were planning to go in that direction, and it worked. Same formation this time, coming to the near side of the field. Hinks in the middle. Roberts quickly. Passes incomplete. He was trying to go really quickly to Jaron Johnson, who just may have taken his eyes off the ball, looking for the hole that he thought he was going to be able to run for a long time in. Second down. Clock not a factor at all. 4:51 to go. You can really take your time, try to put points on the board.
Obviously, a touchdown is what we want, but making Bullis have to drive the length of the field.
Johnson did a great job just bringing that one in and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to back him up a yard, yeah.
The Saints are committed to the short passing game, but they're going to look for an opportunity to take their shot downfield.
Well, that thing probably would have worked, but the pass just a little high, and it made it a little harder for him to haul it in, and then the pursuit by Bullis was pretty good. So third down, we'll call it about 10.5 to be legitimate for you.
This might be 2-down territory for the Saints, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did a run to set up a 4th down pass, but they're going to throw. There's that shot.
Trying to go to Tidwell, passed just a little too long, but Bullis brought the blitz. They were trying to bring everybody. The offensive line did a good job to give Roberts some time. So now 4th down. Now's when you got to make a decision. And you're right, Tidwell, the hot guy. Why not try to go to him? Had man-on-man coverage.
Flag the Saints. Ineligible man downfield. It is declined.
Wow. Did not see that flag on the other side of the field, but an ineligible receiver downfield declined.
It looks like the Saints are going to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the last play, I like giving Tidwell a shot. He's had a good half. The Saints probably see a matchup that they like. They're in that range where maybe a little too far away for a field goal, or you're not quite sure if you want to punt. Maybe go for it. 2-down territory.
Got a 4th and about 10.5, so you do have to make that decision. You're kind of in that no man's land, a little bit of it, because if you miss a field goal or get it blocked, or if you get a punt blocked, I mean, a lot of that can happen. And you played a really good first half. You don't want to give an easy one up here before the break.
Looks like they are going to bring out the punt team, and I'm sure Williams going to try to pin them inside the 20.
Just one touchdown on a Really nice drive by the Saints, 55 yards, 32-yard touchdown pass. 7-0 Saints. Talked about William Sterling doing a sterling job all year, and he's in to punt away. He should be towing it just across the midfield stripe. He gets that one way up in the air. So what kind of bounce it takes.
Oh.
Close.
Good
but
kick.
do it. Yeah.
Just bounced the wrong way. Sometimes that bounces back to you, right into your coverage man, but not this time.
Well, you force Bullis to go 80 yards rather than for Bullis to go, a whole lot shorter. It'd be like a 55, 57-yard drive. So, you much rather make them take the longer road home. And the way the defense is played.
Absolutely. A wise football coach once said, all possessions should end in a kick. Either you're kicking at an extra point or a field goal, or you're punting. And I know we'd rather have touchdowns and field goals, but the punt, playing the field position game with our defense, I'll take it.
I like that. You should patent that. Faust back in at quarterback. A little motion that time, and that's from Salmon. They're going to go straight ahead. Darius Gray's got his hand on the running back. Maybe a pickup of 5 on the play. But when Darius gets his fingers on you, you can pretty much forget it. That's Fernandez with the run. And that clock starts really running now. You're St. Christopher's, you wanted to run and try to keep Bullis out of the end zone. Bullis has not scored a whole lot of points this year. It's kind of surprising with all these offensive folks. They've only scored like 23 points or so on the year. I mean, it's really surprising with all the firepower they got. 2nd and 5. Go again. A little more room to the outside, but he was grabbed, and that's going to get a flag, I'm afraid, because I think that when Colin Johnson got a hold of him, he might have got a little bit of the back of the collar, it looked like, from here, possibly.
There's a flag.
Little seam that Fernandez got, so it was a face mask instead of the back. So that's one you don't want to get right now. If you can avoid that, Colin just trying to make a play.
Colin is a fierce competitor.
Yep.
Excellent player. Tough break on that one.
So the penalty advances the football to the 47-yard line. Saints defense has played awfully well in the first half. Trying to rally some now and keep Bullis off the board. Straight ahead again. That one didn't go anywhere. Fernandez with nowhere to go, but a lot of red jerseys around that. I mean, a bunch of red jerseys around that. Brandon, one of the guys to get in there on that stop.
Saints with 2 deep safeties to make sure that Bullis doesn't take a shot downfield.
In the 2 games I saw the video for Bullis, they like to run a deep route that almost tries to split the safety and the corner, almost the old post, but it's not like just cutting hard to go to the post. And I'm a little surprised we haven't seen them attempt that thus far. Jameer Wallace on the near side of the field. That would be the guy I would say they're going to do it if they ran that play. That's close to what it would be. The ball was hit as the pass was trying to be thrown. I believe Darius Gray was the guy that got his hand up, and the pass from Faust just fell meekly short.
The Saints defensive line is so disruptive, and Faust is standing in there, but he's a human being, and it's hard not to think about Darius Gray and MJ Crocker and Drew Pendlebury and Lance Clellan coming after you. The Saints, the timing for the passing game for Bullis is disrupted by that line.
Totally. Big 3rd down, 8 yards to go as we're under 2 minutes to play in our first half. St. Christopher's on top 7-0, trying to keep it that way. Faust, a lot of pressure. Gray was the one who got to him. McClellan was close. Pass incomplete. It'll be 4th down. And you mentioned the rush. It was all over Faust at that point.
Also worked out well that was an incomplete pass because it stops the clock. The Saints will get the ball back with 1 timeout left.
1:49 on the clock right now, and you're right, that 1 timeout, you can really use it. You can throw across the middle. You don't have to worry about it as much. So back in to kick it again will be Tangelo, and Tidwell's on the other end. J.J. Tidwell standing at his own 15-yard line. Coming after it a little bit, kick straight up in the air. Tidwell brings it in. Short punt to the 24-yard line, and so the Saints will have to navigate that distance within 1 minute and 40 seconds to see if they can pad on that 7-0 lead.
Nice job by Tidwell to catch that moonshot of a punt. That's a tough thing to do, stand in there where you know everybody's around you. But it looked like Bullis had decided they weren't going to let JJ have another chance at a return.
But that one could have brought rain, that punt.
So now the Saints will have a decision to make because the Saints are kicking off to the Saints are going to get the ball to start the second half. So if they're able to put a drive together, score, and then get the ball to start the second half, that could be a very significant momentum swing, but not a whole lot of time.
White gets it up to the 30-yard line. The clock is going to become something you really got to keep an eye on now. You got the ball at your own 30-yard line. We're at 1:16 and counting, and not a lot of hopping to get along for the offense at the moment. Now that could change with one big play.
I think the Saints here need to be pretty thoughtful, though, about running some good plays where maybe they have a chance to break one. But hey, I'd be more than happy to go to the locker room up 7-0, knowing that we're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Flag is down. They're going to call a procedure penalty against St. Christopher's. Somebody must have moved in that line.
Procedure on St. Christopher's. 5-yard penalty, 2nd and 8.
That's the one thing you don't want when you get under a minute. If you can avoid a penalty like that, and I know it's only 5 yards, but that could have an effect if you get down the field and you have to kick the field goal. Could be. You just, coaches, you know, Coach, you pull your hair out of that sometimes, don't you?
Or it turns gray, either one.
Oh, you can fix the gray. Looking for somebody. Just going to throw it away, and that was the smart play to make that time by Chase Roberts. 37.8 seconds to go, and now you've got 3rd and about 8 yards, so now you got to really make a decision of what you're going to do with this.
Good decision by Chase. I think the Saints thought they might be able to take a shot, but it wasn't there. Be smart with the football.
Correct.
Good decision.
Bullis has 2 timeouts, but I'm not sure that they're thinking about that at the moment because the Saints will probably think about running the football to force the timeout, and then you only have 1 left. Little cat and mouse. Quick pass, and I think it was a miscommunication there between quarterback and receiver because Tidwell was not looking for it, and it was thrown, and he could have picked up a first down with that. Roberts threw a pretty good pass, but Tidwell just wasn't looking in that direction to see it was coming.
Definite miscommunication, and sometimes a lot of coaches will view the short passing game just like a running play because it's very high percentage, and it's sometimes they're more confident just throwing it out there, and then you might break it.
Right.
But the miscommunication there resulted in the incomplete pass, so the Saints will kick it away.
Yeah, and he had man-on-man coverage, so if he'd have been able to make the catch, could have done something with it. Sterling booms it and kicks it to the side. Great job of the Saints getting around the ball, and there's a flag on the other side of the field, and that may go against Bullis because the Saints chased her going down the field there, and that was Gibson Beck was upended over there, and I'm not so sure that they're not going to call something against Bullis on that, which would mean new life for the Saints with 21 seconds to go. Let's see what the call is. Wouldn't you love to have a microphone in with those three right now, those three officials going over this? I've always wanted to have that, just to hear what they're saying.
I agree. There's the
holding is going to be the call against Bullis.
it wasn't officials talking, but there's the great scene in Bull Durham. Yeah. Thinking of minor league baseball as we're about to say goodbye to the Diamond this weekend.
Yeah.
But they're having the conversation on the mound, and they're talking about wedding gifts and how candlesticks make great wedding gifts.
Exactly. So it'll be a penalty that goes against Bullis, which will back them up another 10 yards, which will make it a lot harder to get down the field and get something on the board. So it'll put it at the 26-yard line with 21.6 seconds to go. Yeah, that's a couple of the officials up here before the game I got to talking with, and they shared some funny stories. It was worth the time to talk with those guys today.
All right, if you're the Saints, keep everybody in front of you. 21.6 seconds. Yep. Bullis has got 2 timeouts, but a long way to go. Keep them in front. Tackle. Keep them in bounds if you can.
Yep.
Let's go to the locker room. Up 7-0.
And getting the ball back the second half.
Saints have 3 men deep in their secondary.
Just run it straight ahead.
Bullis looks content to just go to the locker room.
I think they are. Might be shy of a first down, but Giovanni's having to do a lot. Fernandez is having to do a lot of the running right now. They've not had some folks who've been able to do like he's able to make something happen. And it looks like Bullis is going to just take it to the locker room as well. So we have played half of the football game, and the Saints have a nice 7-0 lead here at halftime.
In that second quarter, heading into halftime 7-0, what's been the biggest factor in that lead? And then what does the team need to brush up on going into halftime?
I mean, the run game's definitely been big. I think they just got to keep playing with effort, capitalizing on the moments. I mean, we're both kind of got a lot of fouls on the board. So just capitalizing on the moments that they're getting, playing hard. O-line's getting a lot of movement. We're getting some pass rush, some pressure. So we just got to keep going, keep that going, and keep the run game going. And I think we'll be looking good after halftime.
Right, thank you.
Thanks, brother. Of course.
That was Hill Butler down on the field with St. Christopher's alumnus Caleb Bay, former Saint football player and a yellow jacket at Randolph-Macon College. We are thrilled to have Caleb back here working in the middle school, helping bring his expertise to the football program. And he had a good analysis of the first half and what's to come.
Well, let's take a look at the first half stats, and Coach, take a look at it and see anything that just jumps out at you, because there's some tighter numbers than I thought would be. First downs at 6-8, the Saints with the lead there, but some of those other numbers are kind of interesting to see.
Very balanced time of possession. Bullis 11-14, the Saints 12-46. I think in the second half we want to try to possess the ball even more to keep their playmakers off the field. The success in the run game. Aiden White, 10 carries, 76 yards. And we've got to remember there's at least one long one that came back for a penalty. So keep pounding the football to Aiden with that big, strong, talented offensive line in the second half.
Tidwell with 4 receptions and 83 yards, had the touchdown on the 32-yard touchdown pass, and he looked really good. He had a wonderful first half catching the football.
He sure did. I'm sure they'll continue to look for him. Credit to Chase Roberts, too, bouncing back after a couple of tough breaks and throwing the ball with confidence and leading that touchdown drive.
Sterling Williams continues to do a lot of great things. He'd been averaging about 32 yards a kick in the first half. He averaged 37.5, and that's pretty good kicking, I can tell you. That's a good number.
And great job on his kickoffs as well, making sure that Bullis doesn't have an opportunity for their playmakers to get involved in the return game.
Elijah Brandon, EB leads the defense with tackles. He's got 3 tackles, 2 unassisted, 1 assisted, and he has played well on that side of the ball as well. If you look for Bullis, they have not really had anybody that's jumping out at you. Their leading rusher is Giovanni Fernandez, he only has 34 yards. Faust has not had a throwing first half like we thought we might see. He's 4 of 11 for 46 yards and 23 yards on one of those connections. Connor Salmon, who's, as we said, and we told you about, Tanglo, who we told you about, both of those guys are at 17 and 23 yards in receptions in the first half for yardage. So it's really been a great job by St. Christopher's defensively, and special teams have really been a big factor here in the first half.
Absolutely, and now a big part of it will be, how did the Saints come out in the second half?
Yeah.
I think in the locker room right now, Coach Clellan is talking about the drive that we're going to put together to start the half. Playing St. Christopher's football, everybody doing their job, blocking soundly, knowing where to be so there aren't any miscommunications, and grinding out a long drive to go up 2 scores on Bullis. I think the other thing that they're probably talking about is penalties. All right, the Saints had 6 penalties for 75 yards in the first half, sometimes flipping the field. And there are times in the first half where it can be good to commit a penalty. You know, if you're going to get beat deep, it's better to give up 15 yards than to give up a touchdown. But the penalties where we can control by making sure we're not getting tangled up with somebody or not responding, those are the types of penalties to win a tight, close football game in the second half. We got to make sure we play a clean game.
You got to play a clean game, or you got problems somewhere else. As we told you, St. Christopher's 2-0, trying to go to 3-0, and next week it's a trip to Norfolk Academy. That's on the 19th, so the schedule doesn't get any easier. Then it's at Benedictine on the 26th, so a lot of the road games starting to come in as well. You get the home opener, and then you feel like, okay, we're going to start playing at home, and then bam, you're back out for two straight games, and that changes the game again. So you really got to get the win at home when you can be here. Good first half as far as getting out front, defense playing well, and some good things obviously took place in the first half.
Absolutely. I think the play of the defensive line, Faust, good quarterback, but he's got to be worried about the front 4 of the Saints. Some excellent play in the secondary. Austin Robinson almost had a pick 6, but a great pass breakup on a 3rd down play. Elijah Asari, having him back, that gives the defense even more depth and versatility, and he's done a great job on the outside.
Well, this team, as we mentioned, a lot of folks back from last year. Expectations were high here, and so far I don't think anybody's disappointed at all. It's same situation. Nobody has scored in the first half on the defense. 3rd game, nobody scored in the first half against the defense. That's pretty impressive.
There's the old saying, defense wins championships.
Well, you can't lose if they don't score.
That's right.
You cannot lose if they don't score. You know, you mentioned before the game and even some during the game about this coaching staff for St. Christopher's, and a lot of these guys have been together for a while. And you know, I think it's worth going down these defensive coaches and offensive coaches or the assistant coaches that have just really done a wonderful job with this program.
Absolutely. And we mentioned Coach Cleland earlier, starting with him, Big Ten champion at Northwestern, on the offensive line, professional football, champion. He's won 3 championships here with the Saints, and he's done it with different types of teams and different groups. So it starts with him, and he does a great job. Greg Toon, defensive coordinator. He's been around for 20 years. He loves football, loves his Richmond Spiders and Seattle Seahawks. I don't know if he's probably a big fan of Sean Springs every other day than today when they're playing, but great defensive mind, always has his teams ready to play. Another Spider and an upper school history teacher, Scott Van Arsdale, with the running backs, special teams. And we've mentioned the running backs and the special teams have been definite first-half highlights tonight. We also have some new additions to the coaching staff, guys who are younger with college football, playing experience. Julius Moore, coach in the secondary, played at Elon. Austin Ertl, we mentioned the defensive line. He was a very productive and successful player at Miami of Ohio, and he's working with the D-line. And then also we've got Marshall Ellick, he might have taught J.J. Tidwell how to make those catches, especially that shoestring. Yeah. But he played wide receiver at Temple and Stony Brook. Yeah. So excellent coaching staff for the Saints. And I'd be remiss, and this is one of the neat things about St. Christopher's football. It's our tackling coach, Davis Theakston. He was hired by Coach Cleland in his second year, and his background is rugby. So through our entire program, the players are taught rugby-style tackling. First and foremost, it's safe. And secondly, it's a productive way to tackle. And I think that Coach Cleland and the emphasis on making football an enjoyable sport to play and making sure in this era where there's more knowledge and information about some of the dangers that can happen with football, making it as safe as possible. As a result, it's something that the boys want to be a part of. We've got 52 men on our varsity football team and nearly 100 boys in the high school playing football. That's pretty neat. And the coaches, they get all the credit for that. And
they all have done a wonderful job. And it's also good to have an alum that's on the staff, too.
Absolutely. With Julius Moore? Yep, absolutely.
I was going to mention.
I mean, there are a lot more coaches in football than there are on basketball.
Exactly.
So I had to go through and think of them all.
Clark
Julius
Miller, too. You got
Clark Miller. I didn't even mention Coach Miller there. Two alums. Julius, I remember when he was a player, had a big interception to seal a victory over at Collegiate. And then we mentioned Clark Miller early in the broadcast.
You did.
He's also in his 20th year here at St. Christopher's, but he played right tackle for the Diplomats of Franklin and Marshall. And I'm sure I was talking to him earlier today, and so he's seen every line of the last 20 years, and he was raving about this group. And obviously Darius gets a lot of attention, as he should, but he said, even if Darius, wasn't part of this line, it would still be an outstanding line, and they have really good chemistry.
Yeah. It's a great coaching staff, and I think we've got most everybody. I was trying to get to as many of them as we can because, they don't get a lot of pats on the back, not during the season, but when we had an opportunity to do so, I really thought it was worthwhile. And I'll go back to this. The first night game, you also were on the broadcast for the first night game here at Noah's.
That was a lot of fun. It was great doing it with Edison Palumbi, one of our great SIDs. And we've had some wonderful SIDs over the year when you think of Coach Lewis and his program. Shelton Moss and John Brandon. I mean, great guys that love Saint sports, and too many to name. But the night game and being here tonight and thinking about what the environment used to be, we'd play on a Friday afternoon. If you're looking across the field behind the visitor sideline, it used to be covered in trees, and now there's the nice hill for the spectators. Exactly. The community pavilion has concessions, and the stands are packed, and kids are running around. It's truly a special Friday Night Light experience here.
It really is, and that first game was against Collegiate, and it was a huge, huge crowd on hand, and that atmosphere of Friday Night Lights here has really been special, not only for the students that are currently here, but all of those who graduated. They come back, and the crowds are always just wonderful, and they're supportive of this football program, which is one of the things that I love about coming over here. It's a fun environment, and it's a great place to be. I've always said.
Well, we always love having you over here, so you're welcome anytime.
How good. If somebody asks me when I'm over, I'm going to say you've given me the okay. So earlier today, when I arrived, I'll tell this story quickly. I ran into Headmaster, ran into
Mr.
Leckie, yes, ran into him, and ran in to Jake Westerman, who's head of the upper school, and they were asking a lot of questions about how long ago it was that the stream started. So I had to talk with Coach Stephen Lewis, because he's the guy that got this thing going. And when it first started, he thinks that we were around 2010 or 11. And that's the first time he and I started doing these things years and years ago. So to be with you tonight is something both of us have talked about for a long time. Is really neat for me. I'm glad that the schedule worked, and I'm thrilled that we're doing this. And hopefully the folks out there listening are enjoying it as much as we are, because this is something you and I wanted to do a long time.
Well, it's always fun to be with people that you enjoy being around and doing something that you like to do. And, I hope everybody's enjoying the stream. We are having a good time here. And it's a beautiful night, but we also, how about the technology? If you can't make it to the game yourself, you can watch from home. We've got Hill doing the sideline reporting.
He's doing a great job of that, too, and that's a hard job, I'm going to tell you. I think he's got us on right now.
All right,
Jump
we've got Hill
there he is,
with
right
us.
There in living color. You look good. You've been doing a good job down there on the field.
All right, Hill. We were having some audio on the first sideline interview, so we didn't catch all of Coach Whitlow and what he had to say. Could you fill in the viewers on sort of Coach Whitlow's reaction and thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, he felt pretty good about it. He's talking about just those missed opportunities, catching some bad breaks there. Obviously, you got 2 tipped interceptions. Worst way to throw a turnover, in my opinion. But I think he's feeling really confident. You can see why.
Oh, sorry. We're still – now we got you, Hill. So we're going to ask you to repeat that again for us.
You're doing great.
Now, all kinds of audio issues today, huh?
No, we're working it out for the first time, and you're doing great. But tell us what Coach Whitlow had to say about the first half.
Coach Whitlow, I think he's feeling real confident. He's really impressed with the defense, as I think everybody is, holding them scoreless here first half. Was kind of lamenting those tip turnovers. Saints turned it over on those 2 tipped interceptions. Worst way to get a turnover, in my opinion. But I think he's feeling real good. Just, of course, penalties. Got to clean up on those penalties. Both teams, I think. Saints have lost some big yards, especially after those kickoffs. But I think overall he's feeling pretty confident. Run game looks great. Chase Roberts throwing it pretty well, and the defense looks real good out there.
Yeah, great analysis. I think you hit all the key points. One of the things we were talking about up here is how the Saints are responding to the breaks of the game when they don't go your way. How's the vibe on the sideline? Are the players feeling good about being up 7-0?
I think one thing I notice is everyone seems involved. Everyone's talking to each other. Even the players on the sideline, in between the plays, talking to the guys out on the field, communicating. I think that's really valuable as a team, all being involved like that. Of course, I think they're happy about the lead, but they're certainly not satisfied. And I think when you're up 7-0, this is still a tight game. Saints look to be dominating, but, at the end of the day, Bullis is still very much in this. So I think it's great. They're not satisfied. They're still looking for more.
Saints get the ball to start the second half, so it's going to be important to put a good drive together.
Yeah, certainly. I think it'd be very valuable here to start with some momentum going into the second half. I think they absolutely can score on this team, and they have, but they've caught some bad breaks. They've made some bad penalties, some just mental errors. I think if they clean those up going into the second half, I think we could look at a very productive offense.
Hill, I'm going to tell you something. You look great.
Thank you.
You got the right outfit on. This is what you do for network TV right here. He's got it
Yes,
on.
sir. You
got a career if you want to do it, buddy. You just got to work hard.
Thank you very much.
I agree. He's ready for TV. I think people would probably say about us that we've got the face for radio. Is that the old saying, Chip?
I've always had the face for radio. That's why I started in it. It was the easiest way to get in.
So, Hill, we were talking about the SID program. How long have you been involved in SID at St. Christopher's?
So first year being involved, freshman year. Did another season of it sophomore year. In my senior year now, I think I really started to get involved and really started to enjoy it. My junior year, I think that's when I started commentating for one. I think that's what I enjoy doing most, commentating, and then really enjoying these interviews, getting over the microphone. So I think that's when I really started to enjoy it and really started to get involved. But I have been in the program for 4 years now.
So a lot goes into a game. What's your day like? Setting everything up and having it ready. Oh, we're getting ready to start the second half, Hill.
Yeah, of course. Just real quick, learning the players, looking at the expectations for the game, looking at the team stats, getting some stuff to talk about, and some stuff to analyze.
All right, well, we'll talk to you down at the end of the third quarter. Down on the sideline. All right, thanks, Hill.
Thank you.
So there's a kick, and it goes to Tidwell. JJ is going to come to the near side. He's got some room, but he just is tripped up. He had a lot of room. He was thinking what I was thinking. He was looking at wide open green grass, better known as turf here. But he gets to the 24. Not bad field position for the Saints as we start the second half.
All right, Chip, I'm going to take the optimistic look on that. He was just tripped up, but what that means is we've got more opportunity for a longer drive that can grind even more clock.
I agree with you. One touchdown in the first half, a 32-yard pass to Tidwell, and he gets into the end zone. Saints will start first to start the second half.
Back to the 21 personnel with two receivers, a fullback, Lance Clellan, and Aiden White in the backfield.
White takes it, cuts it back, ball is loose, and it is picked up, and plenty of room ahead for Bullis with the recovery. Picks it up and gets it inside the 20-yard line on the first play. Sam Waldman, who was behind the play, just picked it up and runs it all the way inside the 30-yard line, and Bullis is in great field position, their best field position of the whole game.
Tough break for the Saints after a strong run to start the drive. Ball just came loose and bounced right to Bullis.
Had a good run going, but Bullis will have it from the 28-yard line of St. Chris. First play of the second half. The defense was stellar in the first half. It needs to do the same right now. Faust staying in the quarterback position. Going to run it straight ahead, and that's Giovanni again. Giovanni Fernandez. He's had to tote the mail the most of the game because the other running backs not in a long time before they either had injuries or just not doing what the coaches wanted to see done. So he picks up a couple there on first down. It'll be second down. We'll call it 8 yards to go.
Thought Darius Gray had a chance to rip that football away, and he does a nice job of securing the tackle, but then also going for the cause fumble as well.
Well, this is a big possession for a lot of reasons right now. Leading 7-0, you got the kickoff. Just had the fumble. Recovered by Bullis. 2nd and 8. Hand it off again, and this time they're bringing another back in. Going to go around the right side. Not a whole lot. That was Springs in on that play. Sean Springs, he might have got back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him 1 yard, so it's a big 3rd down and 7. And as we were watching in warm-ups, the kicker for Bullis, who had been kicking in the last 2 games, was not warming up at all. They had changed a field goal extra point kicker, so we might keep an eye out for that after this play. 3rd down, twin receivers to the near side of the field. Faust with it, throws it quick, throws it kind of behind the receiver. It falls incomplete, so that'll bring up 4th down. Look for the quick slant route, and the receiver slanted a little further than what he was thinking was going to happen, I think.
That was almost a 3rd interception return for a touchdown for Elijah Brandon. That's been the play that he's scored on the past 2 weeks, picking off that slant. It's big 4th down coming up for the Saints.
So they bring Giovanni Fernandez back in at that running back position. He's flanked to the right of Faust. Big play for both schools right now. Faust dropping straight back. He's looking deep. It's going to be intercepted. Picked straight off. And there's a lot of running room in front. Big play by the Saints. Huge interception by Finn Walter, who continues his great play tonight. And he pushes it all the way up the field. And the Saints are in business to start this second half. Forget about the fumble. We'll just do it this way.
Great response by the Saints. And Chip, one of the things about this early season schedule, playing teams like Huguenot, traveling on the road to Episcopal, playing a really good Bullis team, you're tested.
Exactly.
Tested against good competition, tested in game situations. Another response by the Saints defense.
That was indeed. That was a big play. Roberts keeps it, got some good blocking in front of him, and he moves it into Bulldog territory. Pickup of almost 15 on that play.
That's a tough run, and that's Chase Roberts right there. Yeah. Strong, tough, keeping ahead of the chains. Good
right
run.
In front of him, making some good blocking in front of him.
Chip, one thing going back to that fourth down, a lot of times on a deep ball on fourth down, defensive backs are taught to bat the ball down. In case you intercept it deep in your territory, you'd rather get the ball up at the line of scrimmage. So I think Finn probably saw he had one guy to beat, felt like he could, and then could make sure that we got better field position than if he just batted it down. So that was a good play.
Well, he had a lot of room, and he did a good job with it. Timeout is on the field right now. So we're at 9:48 in the third quarter. St. Christopher's leading by a 7-0 count. They've moved the ball inside midfield at the 46-yard line, and boy, the offense has been knocking at the door all night long beside the one touchdown. So they really want to get something on the board on this possession. So Bullis had taken the timeout. This time Roberts has got a couple of folks with him in the backfield. Clellan and White tries to go outside. The pass was short, trying to go to Tidwell, but not quite enough on that. And it falls incomplete. Be second down and 10.
That first down pass keeps Bullis on their toes. Never know what the Saints are going to do. Even though it wasn't complete, the threat's always there.
Makes you think, doesn't it? Like the call. Bullis looking like they're going to bring folks, but they don't. Roberts again with a fake. He's got a first down and then some. Just pounded his way forward inside the 30-yard line. It took about 4 Bullis players to bring him down. Orrin Ford, the guy that should be credited with the most of the tackle because he was just holding on for dear life.
Coming out of halftime, the Saints clearly saw an opportunity to run straight up the middle. The fumble, but it was after a good run, and now Chase, 2 great runs from the quarterback position. One thing that's nice about Chase running, you get another blocker.
Exactly. Yeah. And White's not afraid to block. He goes in there head first.
Sure does.
Pass was a little bit low, but it could have been caught. In fact, I guarantee you, if you talk to Jaron Johnson, he would say, I should have caught that ball. Still, another thing that we haven't seen all night long, that route coming back toward the quarterback, a little old, it used to be called a button hook years and years ago. Now I think it's just a comeback most of the time.
We're going to get Jerron at some point maybe faking that screen and catching a deep one, I think.
It's not a deep safety right now, so it's set up pretty good. Why do it, though? Roberts goes off the right side with 2 blockers on that side. A nice gain there on second down, and now you're kind of looking at that 4-down territory again as you're getting close to the 20-yard line, depending on where they mark that thing. It's only going to be about 2.5 yards to go. Third down. Run it again. He's going to have the first down and then some. Close it in on the 15-yard line.
Coach Clellan doing a nice job sticking with what's working, getting behind that big, talented offensive line.
Well, and you get, like you said, you've got 2 backs in the backfield that are helping to seal and to lead block. I mean, it's pretty good offense running right now. It's tough to stop it.
conditioning plays a role in a game like this, especially up front.
First down just outside the 15-yard line. Roberts looking for somewhere to go.
Looks like a hold.
Yeah, going to get knocked out of bounds. He lost a couple of yards on the play, but it does look like a hold. And it is.
Holding on the Saints.
Saints were trying to get tight end number 87, Nate Roberts, coming back against the action and get him on a crossing route. Bullis did a nice job covering him. And then when Chase was flushed out, Saints held.
Well, like you said, you've done a lot of things really good tonight, and you just can't have any mistakes right now. You're holding and something really hurts some. But the offense has done awfully well with moving it down the field on this possession. Officials are still having a discussion with the Bullis coaching staff.
The ball at the 16-yard line, we're looking at about well, now with the penalty, it'll be back 5 yards. We're looking at about a 38-yard field goal from where the ball is now.
First and 20.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was longer penalty
Yeah.
than just 5
Yeah.
yards. So, yeah, we might be – we're getting
First and
close
20.
or maybe in
in the
William
range.
Sterling's range, but something to be thinking about, too, for a field goal.
First and 20 from the 25, and whistle again with flag flying.
False start.
Legal
Yeah.
procedure
Yeah,
on the Saints.
yeah. This is when, there's that old thing about the ball starts rolling. You got to stop the ball sometimes when you have back-to-back penalties, and that has not happened at all tonight. That's the first time that's happened. So another 5 moved back, so now you got first and 25, which the offense has been able to do pretty good tonight. That's not out of reach. A little screen. Oh, my goodness, and another flag is down. He completed the pass to White, who's going to have a big game, but I got a feeling we may have a hold in. There's another flag at the end of the play, so that could – well, they could cross each other out. We may have another first down and 25 again.
Coach Clellan with his hands up. A lot of times on a screen, if there's a penalty, it's an illegal man downfield. We'll see what the call is.
Well, that late flag, may negate the first and to be offsetting penalties. And that's what I think they're discussing. Face mask on the defense. So, yeah, they cross each other out. So you have a holding and a face mask, so they cancel each other out, and we'll play all over again.
First down.
So, time score situation.
Yep.
7:24 to go in the third quarter. First and 25.
Yep.
I'm thinking William Sterling at this point. How do we make sure at the very least we get 3?
You want that 2-score lead, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Fake this time across the middle, just a little behind J.J. Tidwell. Couldn't bring it in, and it falls incomplete.
Second down.
Like the route, like the pass, just a little bit off the connection.
It's tough with multiple penalties.
Yeah.
It can disrupt the flow, and you get in a rhythm.
Yeah. And that is easy to happen, especially when you get multiples coming in both directions, and there's a 5 and there's a 10, and it just, yeah, you're right. Takes a lot out of you. Second down, 25. Let's go with White straight ahead, trying to make something out of it. He gets close to 5 yards on the play, so that'll put the ball right close to the 25-yard line. So now you've got a third down and about 20 to go, and I don't know, a lot of people have got the 3rd and 20 call somewhere.
No,
if you could get 10, you're definitely in field goal range, I would think.
Yeah, not a lot of great play call opportunities in 3rd and 20. Defenses are naturally going to be worried about giving up a touchdown.
Correct.
I'll be interested to see if they go back to the Chase Roberts run to try to get that 5 to 10 yards and give William Sterling a good look at a field goal attempt.
I like that. I like that call. Roberts is going to run it straight ahead. He's got some room inside the 20. So he gets it almost back to where the original line of scrimmage was. But just like Coach said, that'll bring in William Sterling to attempt a field goal at the 6:04 mark in the third quarter with a 7-0 lead. And he's had a good year kicking it this year.
He's certainly put in the work.
He is 1 of 1, 30 yards.
Kicking from the right hash.
This is a 35-yard attempt. Perfect all year from his extra points. Snap is down, the kick is up. He's got the leg. He speared it. 35 yards. That is a big field goal there, as it makes it a 2-score advantage for the Saints as they move out to a 10-0 lead.
What a weapon to have a kicker like William Sterling.
Oh.
Coach Van Arsdale's special teams delivering. And the coaches, I'm sure, are going to go back and look at this drive and be frustrated by the penalties. But they did a great job of making sure that they got points. Getting into Williams' range and coming away with the 3 points on the board to make it a 2-score game.
Well, Finn Walter really got it started with the interception. Put the ball in pretty good field position, and the Saints needed a number of plays and what I call replays with all the penalties for a 35-yard field goal from William Sterling, and now the lead is 10-0, and you know, that's what you really like. You got to have that 2-score just to make it a little more difficult. Sterling will kick off. Squibber just falling straight on the ground with it at the 30-yard line. And, you know, that, once again, as you've mentioned a couple of times tonight, sometimes not making a mistake is huge. Sean Collins just fell right on the ground with it. Not used probably to run into football. Don't kick it deep. 30-yard line's fine. They'll start at the 26-yard line, Coach.
All right, this is time for that defense. Chase Roberts big on that last drive. Probably had about 3 carries for 40 yards, helping to move the football.
Saints got their first touchdown of the night. A 32-yard touchdown pass to J.J. Tidwell. 7-0 at the break. Start the third quarter. You get the field goal, and now it's 10-0.
We've mentioned the defensive line a lot, but Saints linebackers, Charlie Gunn, 17, Charlie Edmonds, number 4, and Elijah Brandon, number 2. Very versatile in that they can help with stopping the run, but also pass coverage.
You know, the other thing they've done tonight is they kept the offensive linemen busy so that they couldn't do much else. They've just gotten in the way. Fouls going deep. That's going to be intercepted. It's picked off by Collins as he just hauls it home. That was almost like a fair catch for him. That was right in the hands. Colin Johnson just bringing it in for the interception.
Second interception on the year for Colin Johnson. Great play. Big stop for the Saints.
Well, the last time the interception worked for the Saints is they put 3 on the board, and now they'll start this drive with 5:17 left in the third quarter, and they'll start in really good field position, their own 38-yard line. Once again, pretty good position to try to put more points on the board. Boy, with a touchdown, how good would that be right now, Coach?
That would be ideal. I think let's string a drive together, and I'd like to get that touchdown in the fourth quarter because we've run 5:17 off the clock.
Exactly. Fake to White. Roberts goes straight ahead. He'll pick up marginal account, probably about 2 yards when they move the stick. Now they're going to go give him 1. Backed it up. So second down, but you know, the clock, we're not to the fourth quarter yet, but it still starts becoming your friend in the third if you can run clock. So running the football on this drive might be something that you look at.
We'll get behind that That offensive line of Darius Gray, James Signeri, Walter Cart, Isaiah Grant, and Charlie Parker, and Nate Roberts at tight end, and let them do their thing.
White with a nice run to the 45-yard line, and they have done an outstanding job on that offensive line. So now you have a third down, and we're going to call it 3 yards to go. They're going to mark him just shy. Well, that's going to be 4 to go. You know, that's that left foot. I have a thing about the officials with the right foot and the left foot. If they spot it with the left foot, it's shorter. The right foot's always a longer spot. Going off the right side is White again, and there was nothing over there. Boy, the defense that time for Bullis really was waiting with bated breath for somebody to come over there.
I was wondering if maybe we could get to 4th and 1 or 2. Do you think about going for it? But I think with 4th and 4, this is the right call.
Well, the defense has played so well tonight. You don't want to give them a short field if you can keep from that happening. So
absolutely, especially now that we got that big field goal to make it a 2-score game.
William Sterling averaged 37 plus in the first half punting, so he's having a good night punting the football. Good snap. That one is boomed. Springs is trying to chase it.
Stop. Oh,
just goes in the end
went
zone.
Into the end
wow.
zone.
That was close.
That was close. Good kick.
You know what I like, though, that 55-yard punt is that he kicked it away from Springs, so really Springs couldn't chase it down. So that's a good thing to do. 3:16 remains in the third quarter as Bullis will start from their own 20-yard line. Got to go 80 yards. Got to get 2 scores if you're Bullis.
Chip, forgive me. I'm going to have to bring in some basketball comparisons from time to time. But the way this Saints team plays, it feels like a Tony Bennett UVA basketball game. And everybody talked about Coach Bennett and his defense because they were remarkable. But then offensively, they controlled the clock well. So when the opposing team got the ball, they'd sometimes race down and shoot it really quickly. And that's what happened on the last play. 1 pass, we got an interception. 2-score game. Will they try to hit the home run ball and maybe we get another turnover, or are they going to be content to try to drive it down the field?
Faust staying in a quarterback, but they've changed the running back now. Cedric Udy is in, and surprised we have not seen him more this evening. 5'11", 205-pound running back is a pretty good football player. Pickup of 5 on first down, 2nd down and 5. A little motion there, the top of the screen, the wide receiver. Number 7 just got a little bit too in front of, that was Chase Elliott.
Illegal procedure on the Bulldogs.
That helps, that first 5 is negated. So now you got 2nd down and 10. Long as that clock's running, those that are in the red are really happy about that.
Force Bullis to be in passing situations, keep their receivers in front, tackle, and let our defensive line and linebackers pressure the quarterback.
Pitch is back, and they're running a sweep play, but that doesn't have a whole lot of room. Outstanding defense again. Walter's having some kind of game. He made a really, really good play, bringing down number 1. That is Connor Salmon, who has not run the ball a lot, but has caught the ball a lot this year. But I tell you what, Walter's having a game.
Sure is, and that was a great job by number 6, Austin Robinson, to set the edge. Salmon was trying to turn the corner. Austin made sure that he had to cut it back inside where he knew his defense was filling. Good team defense, good play by Robinson, but that's also a sign of excellent coaching.
3rd down, chasing. Pass is, I think he was out of bounds. They're going to give him that inbounds. I have to look and see. I'm not sure. Wow. they're going to call that a catch, and we're not in a good position to see, but Jameer Wallace kind of looked like his knees were on the ground on the stripe when he made the catch, and Faust just kind of threw that away just hoping for a miracle, and he got one. First down.
Excellent play by Bullis. Tough break for the Saints. A near sack from Darius Gray results in a first down.
Whew. If you got 7-4 chasing you down, you're looking for a hiding place. Close in on the minute for the third. They're going to run it straight ahead, and there's some room right there, and this has changed the game again. Judy has come into the game back in the running back spot, and that guy runs downhill and in a hurry. We mentioned he's headed to Cincinnati, committed to go there. Picked up 9 on that play, and the Saint defense is really going to have to buckle up now as we're in the last 40 seconds of the third quarter. That field goal is big right now, isn't it?
Sure is.
Straight ahead again. Well, that guy makes a lot of moves, and he picks up the first down as he's across the midfield stripe to the 49 of St. Christopher's, and that could be the last play of the third quarter.
Number 0, GT. It's the first down for the Bulldogs.
Beauty, a big running back at 205 pounds, 5'11", but I think they missed an inch on that. He's got to be a little taller than that. He looks bigger.
And we're all the way up here.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you're used to the taller air than I am. I have to climb on folks' backs to get anything off. They're probably not going to get the snap off. And we're going to be 3 quarters in the books. Knowles Field, St. Christopher's leading 10-0 as we head into the final quarters. The Saints try to go 3-0 on the season.
As we head to the fourth, we'll turn it over to Hill Butler here for some analysis of that third quarter. Hill, Saints got a big 3 from William Sterling. How'd you feel about that quarter for the Saints, and what are you looking for in the fourth?
Yeah, that field goal, I think, feels like a lot more than 3 points. I mean, it really doesn't feel like a 10-0 game because the Saints have really, it feels like they're really dominating the yardage, the time of possession, just having a trouble getting into the end zone with some turnovers and hard breaks. But overall, I like that quarter. I liked how the defense looked. The defenses looked great this whole game, especially that run defense. I remember that this defensive line let up a total of -1 yards per carry against Episcopal.
Wow.
So it's a very formidable defense. So I really like that quarter, and I think that was a really big field goal. Felt like a lot more than 3 points.
I agree, Hill. Yeah, to make it a 2-score game, very, very important for the Saints. Now we're going to be playing the time score game, working the clock to our advantage. But it starts right here with getting a stop.
Yeah, Saints shouldn't be in any huge hurry here to score. I think right now they just need to work on, like you said, milking the clock, running the timeout, not giving Bullis an opportunity.
Beauty lost a yard on first down, so it's 2nd down and 11. The Bulldogs need to reach the 39-yard line as we begin the fourth quarter. Faust, pressure, throws it way too high as he was going to Foudy, and a lot of 74 looking at him. That's Darius Gray headed to South Carolina. Give you a quick recap. The Saints scored at 8:40 of the second quarter. J.J. Tidwell, a 32-yard pass from Chase Roberts, 7-0. And in the third quarter, 5:29 remaining, William Sterling, a 36-yard field goal, 10-play, 40-yard drive, and it's 10-0 St. Christopher's. It's been a great game, Coach. It really has.
2 talented teams. If you appreciate good defense.
Tried to go to the outside, and the pass is going to be incomplete. Faust was trying to hit Salmon again, but could not, and it'll bring up a 4th down, and you have to punt the football right now if you're Bullis. You got no choice.
Yeah, definitely don't want to give the Saints a short field. But, yeah, this game, 10-0, not a lot of scoring, but it's high on intensity. And if you appreciate good defense, strategy, adjustments, it's one of those games where it's like a tight baseball game, a 1 or 2-0 baseball game. Almost blocked.
Another sky.
Oh, penalty on the Saints.
Yep. Tidwell moved away from it. You see the flag around the kicker, and that's not what you want to do. Is Tangelo was able to get it up, but got hit. And that will personal foul on that one. Now, is that going to be the 5-yard or the 15 or the 10? If it's a 10-yard, it's still going to be short of a first down unless it's an automatic first down. They're having a discussion.
I need to brush up on the rule book.
Yeah.
Is this one where it's the change of possession occurs?
Yep. Me too. Used to doing the college games on Saturday, Coach. So let's see. It looks like the offense is.
Chip, question for you, because you do college games and
yes.
you head to Lexington for VMI and you do ODU.
Yeah.
You're so modest. You were telling me beforehand that you once did a college game, Purdue, Notre Dame with Brent Musburger. Pretty remarkable career you've had.
Well, you're awfully nice to say that and to bring it up. That was a long time ago, but guess what? It's still on Google if you want to see it. Drew Brees was a senior. Some of you may remember Drew Brees. Outstanding quarterback. He was a junior. It was the first time Purdue has ever beaten Notre Dame to that point. They're at home in West Lafayette. We had his mom on. I was in the stands with his mom, and she called the touchdown pass. It was really a nice day. But, yeah, to work with Brent Musburger and Dan Fouts was pretty good. First down play straight ahead, picks up a couple, and the guy that was producing it was the coordinating producer for ABC Sports. And to get to work with those folks was a highlight, and been very fortunate. Sidelines, play-by-play, color, and I'm glad I'm with you tonight, though, because I'm glad that you and I are getting to do this, because I know you wanted to do this for a while, too. And so it's fun for all of us, and it's been a pretty good football game.
Sure has. No, this has been great, and let's finish it off here with a strong fourth quarter from the Saints.
Second down and 7 yards to go. 10-15 remain in the game. Hand it straight ahead again, and that man is becoming a problem for the Saints. It's Udy again. We told you Udy's going to Cincinnati. He's committed there. 205-pound running back, and what you like with him is he starts quick and he just hits a hole. He really hits a hole. Big third down for both teams right now. Maybe 4-down territory for Bullis, because we don't know what their kicking situation is. I'm just not sure about that. Under 10 minutes to go in the game. Running again, the same guy again. He was just picked up and driven back. Strong tackle there from the Saints. My goodness, that was a strong tackle by Charlie Edmonds. He just picked him up and kind of turned him back, but got the first down.
Now, looking at the clock, 9:15 to go in the fourth. Certainly you don't want them to score, but if they are going to score, you want them to have to run as many plays as possible and use as much time as possible. So hopefully if they do score and kick off, we run the clock out with one of our long sustained drives.
Pass going to the end zone, and it's incomplete. A lot of pressure that time, and that's one of the first passes in a while that Fouts has put up in the air. And you know, you like the fact that the Bulldogs continue to run the football and the clock continues to go, and you think if you get possession regardless of what the score is here, you're going to run off some time yourself, because Bullis may not want to take timeouts. 8:51 on the clock, 10-0. Saints on top, trying to go 3-0 for the season to start. Dylan Faust gone most all the way at quarterback. Handoff is straight ahead again, and the defense really did a great job of circling up around Udy.
So, Chip, that's back to your point. They run the football, but 8:35 to go. They'll probably get the next play off maybe at 8:15, 8:10. We'll see. Clock's ticking away.
Not in any hurry. Bullis is not in any hurry to get plays going in a hurry. They're not in that hurry.
This has been a good matchup on the outside with Elijah Asari and Chris Tangelo.
Yeah, it has been. Snap the ball at 8:07. Trying to run that inside pass that I told you about earlier. Incomplete. It was almost intercepted. Elijah Asari, he was thinking 6 when he gets that. So now you've got a 4th down and 8 yards to go. I think that Bullis may be looking at trying a field goal attempt, and that is exactly what they're going to do. Connor Salmon has come on. This will be about a 39-yard field goal attempt, and he's on the right hash. He was not the kicker in the first 2 games, and that one is going to be way short. So the defense holds for St. Christopher's.
Big stop for the Saints.
I think that was Salmon's first kick this year. I don't have any information that he's kicked anywhere else, but that was a huge defensive stand. Wow.
Again, credit the Saints and that Greg Toon defense for make the bend and not break.
Exactly. That was huge. That 3 would have changed the complexion of the remaining 7 minutes and 56 seconds. Right now, if you're the Saints, you're going into that old 4-corner offense in basketball, aren't you?
Yeah, that's always a fascinating decision is when do you go to that delay, because you don't want to start playing to not lose, but
Correct.
You also want to milk the clock.
Correct.
And so I'm sure, running the football, great start. Even though we didn't get anything there, we're either going to run clock or make them use their timeouts.
And they only have 2 timeouts, Bullis, so they're gonna run as much clock as they can. And you know what? Running Roberts anytime is a good idea.
He's been great. That's
something.
been maybe not the most glamorous stats, but the most important stat is to get the win. And he's made plays throughout the game, but especially with his legs in the second half to put the Saints in a position down the stretch that looks good so far.
So we'll see if the Saints decide to put the ball up in the air. Probably not, but they might. Handoff is to White. He's got a little room on that left side. He did a great job of hanging on to not going down. He got a hand down and was able to get up close to the first down marker. Depends on where the marking is. He's going to be a couple of yards short of the first down, but boy, that was outstanding. Keep it alive. How big is this 3rd down, Coach?
Big play coming up. Tough break that he went out of bounds and didn't get the first down. I think he probably thought he could get the first down.
Correct.
and then
because you don't want them to go out of bounds. Stay in bounds.
Big 3rd down here.
Huge. Straight ahead with Roberts. Not sure he's going to get there. Looks like he's just shy of the first down. They're going to mark him just past the 28, so he had to get to the 30.
Kicking situation coming up. It looks like Bullis is not going to use one of their timeouts.
Wow, they moved that ball back even a little further, so it's 4th down, and you may let this run all the way down. St. Christopher's has 3 timeouts. Bullis has 2. You may run it all the way down and then take a timeout now. For St. Christopher's, you may think about that to decide what you're not going to go for this, I wouldn't think, but at least get your punting team situated.
Looks like they might run all the clock, and I don't know if Coach will call a timeout or take a delay of game and then kick it. Looks like he'll call the timeout.
Yeah, for some reason I had a feeling he might do that.
You've seen a few of these games
Just
before.
A few. Just a few. We don't want to start going back to the beginning.
So earlier I was asking you about college football.
Yep.
What is special to you about high school sports, particularly high school football? Because you've been a fixture on the Richmond sports scene. I won't say for how long, but you have.
1988, I came to Richmond. Okay.
So what makes Friday night so special?
You know, I got to tell you, when we got here in '88, I fell in love with the whole area. It was so much fun on Friday nights. We had the helicopter. We would go out, and I just loved the atmosphere of high school football. I just always have. I love the age of the folks playing. I love the coaches because, you know what, it is just such a different field. When you go to that next level, it changes. Everything changes. And that's the tough thing, is to adjust to that. But now I love college football too, so I'm not going to say I don't. But the high school is really special. Sterling has been Sterling all night long. Gets it up, kind of kicks it away from the returner. It takes a bounce in favor of Bullis, and it goes out about the 46, 47, and may give it to the 48-yard line. They've moved it a couple of times there, so we'll say the 47-yard line. 6:03 to go for Bullis, and they've got to find a way to score twice in that time, and it's got some distance to go here.
Saints defense needs to continue to do what they've done all night. Keep Bullis in front, tackle, be smart about potential for penalties, and make Bullis go down the field on a multiple play drive that's going to consume clock. And also, the more plays Bullis runs, the more opportunities there are for them to make a mistake.
Yep. Dylan Faust with Cedric Udy in the background, and there's an opening. He's got a first down on the first play, a pickup of about 13 yards, and it moves it into St. Chris territory. That's not what you wanted to see on first down. Back him up to the 41-yard line, so 12-yard gain on that first down play. Clock, though, starting to run. Only 2 timeouts for Bullis.
High school football clock stops on a first down while they set the chains. Correct. And then they'll run it.
And that clock is the hero for St. Chris fans right now as it keeps rolling. They go to Udy again. Not as big a gain, and the clock will continue to run. He gets inside the 40-yard line. They will spot him close to the 37. So not a big gain on that first down play. Only about 2 or 3 yards. You got to feel at some point that Bullis has got to pull it and throw it.
Be nice to get that sack fumble when they do and get the ball back.
It would be. Udy to the 35-yard line. Walker with a tackle, and it's 3rd down and 4, but you got to be thinking 4-down territory. This is way too far out to try the field goal again. And you really got to be thinking Udy again, because he's looked pretty good running the football since he's come in here in the 4th quarter. 4:30, and the clock continues to roll. Going to try to pass it. The pass was short. Darius Gray got in the face of Fouts, and the pass was way, way, way short as he was trying to go to number 11, Jameer Wallace. And now it's 4th and 4.
That play just a little while ago, kind of like Austin Robinson when he set the edge. There's no statistic for it. There's no statistic for the rush that Darius Gray just put on the quarterback, but it directly resulted in the incomplete pass.
Totally. 4th down and 4. 4:21 remains in our contest. Trying to pass it, and I'm not really sure who Fouts was going to, but it falls incomplete. It's a turnover, and the Saints will have the football with 4:17 remaining in the game.
Another big stop for the defense. Now it's time to go to that 4 corners offense that you mentioned, Chip.
Absolutely. Try to run as much clock as you can right now as the Saints have the football. The 35-yard line. And, I'm going to give you another one, Coach. one of the gentlemen that's shooting the video tonight for CBS 6 is a guy named Rick Stoss. And Rick Stoss has worked with every TV station in town, and he and I worked together for about 10 or 12 years, and he's one of my closest friends, and it's just neat to see him. He feels about high school football the same way I do. White off the right side, and he's got room. That's a foot race. If he can beat it to the house, and he's not going to quite get it, he's pushed out of bounds, but all the way down to the inside the 20-yard line to the 18-yard line. What a huge run, but he was chased down by Tangelo.
One of the best things about that run, there's no yellow laundry on the field, so that one's not coming back. Big run. Aiden White, great blocking up front.
So the Saints now are in great, great shape. He's over 100 yards rushing tonight. That was a huge gain right there. About 35 yards, close to 40. It's exactly what the doctor ordered at that moment. Looking to throw it. Man's wide open. That could go in the end zone. Going to get tackled from behind, but a nice pitch and a nice catch. That time, Nate Roberts from the tight end, a little drag on the backside, and give him the first down inside the 10-yard line. Saints trying to put points on the board in a hurry now.
That shows the confidence that Coach Clellan has in the Roberts to Roberts connection. Chase to Nate. Good pass, good hands. Bullis wasn't expecting that.
No.
And Nate has outstanding hands, so that was a great play by him. Now I think we're going to see a heavy dose of the run here.
I would think so. Roberts swinging left. Did he get in the end zone? He does. Just inside the pylon. Touchdown, Nate Roberts.
Big time drive by the Saints to take a commanding 16-0 lead.
That was a huge drive set up by a wonderful run by White. I mean, that was sensational. He just would not go down. Speed caught him at the end. I'm sure he's tired. He's like 150 yards or so rushing tonight. My goodness. Sterling trying to stay perfect for his extra points for the year. I liked your Roberts to Roberts. I saved one for later, you know. Kick is up, and it's good. Because, you know, you have Johnson and Johnson in the secretary. In the secondary.
That's right. That's right.
I was going to give you that one, but I was waiting for it. Well,
to my knowledge, Chase and Nate are not related, but they had chemistry on that pass and catch combo. And I think it's fitting. Really happy for Chase to get that touchdown because the first half, 2 interceptions off of deflections, didn't hang his head, and then decided that he was going to help his team win with his legs in the second half. Big runs on the drive that resulted in the field goal. And after Aiden White's long run, good to see Chase get to the end zone for that touchdown.
And he did a nice job of just getting inside the pylon, and that's not as easy as some folks think. You start going one angle, you got to turn it back in. That's not easy.
All right, let's see if William Sterling continues with his pinpoint placement on the squib kicks.
That's pretty good there. An up lineman just falls on it. And I can assure you, coming into the game tonight, number 53 for Bullis did not think that he was going to have to make a play like that. That's Tyler Wormsley who got on top of it and secured it. 3:16 to go. Saints in great position to be 3-0 to start the season. We're back on the road next week. Told you it's a Norfolk Academy Friday evening game at 6:30, and then it's a Benedictine game on the 26th. That's a 4 p.m. kick. And this team is starting to show some real signs of being able to think that it's going to be a long season. A lot of games-wise. Not long in losing, but a lot of games. Fouch trying to go deep. In and kind of out of the hands. Was a little bit wide. The receiver trying to haul it in, but wasn't a whole lot of opportunity to get it. trying to hit Fernandez, and Fernandez is not as tall as some of the other receivers that they have. A little tougher to get it to him. He's 5'8".
The Saints are establishing their identity, and they're clearly confident in their ability to come out and play great defense, take care of the football on the offensive end. I know there were the 2 turnovers, but off of tip passes, they had a fumble, but they kind of some fluke plays. They know what they want to do offensively: take care of the football, run the football, spread the ball around, and then grind out a game. And then all of a sudden, it becomes a 17-0 lead.
Udy makes a 9-yard run. It's 3rd down and 1. Whistles on the field. We don't know what it is. 2:47 to go in the game. We just had a sighting of the Director of Athletics, Ren O'Farrell, coming up the steps, waved a little bit. Good to see Coach O'Farrell. Always good to see him.
Lots of effort goes into the Friday night games with Coach O'Farrell, our athletic director, Andy Tybel, one of our athletic directors. You mentioned Coach Lewis, Coach Whitlow, and Robin Eldridge, making sure that the players are healthy. Coach Blanton, Coach Wright, our strength and conditioning coaches, are down on the field.
It's great to see the great Dick Kemper here tonight.
They don't come any better than Coach Kemper.
They do not. 3rd and short, not going to get the first down. What a tackle right there in the middle. Udy had nowhere to go. Big stop that time by Pendlebury, Drew Pendlebury, making his presence known. Now it's 4th and 1 as we're closing in on 2 minutes to go. But the other reason I really think a lot of you is that you took my oldest, and he always still thinks you're one of the greatest teachers he ever had. So you did great with that.
You're kind to say that. I remember, there's that sack from Darius Gray.
Finally got it. That's his 5th sack of the year.
Well, one of the great things about working at St. Christopher's is meeting the boys and getting to meet the parents, and part of the fun of becoming an older teacher coach. I won't say old yet, but older, is you get to see all the neat things that they're doing, and then hopefully they come back for alumni events, and we get to keep up, and that's a lot of fun.
It is neat, and you were great, Dave. It's been a few years ago for that, but he still has you high in esteem, and I do too.
Well, you're kind to say. This has certainly been a lot of fun spending the night with you, and it's even better that we're sitting here with a 17-point lead in the ball with 1:48 to go.
Absolutely, and trying to throw a pass and hit Tidwell, but JJ can't get it. A little low, couldn't get it up to where he could grab it. Thought we might see him run the clock out, and they might do that now with the 1:43 to go. That might have been just a shot to get Tidwell another reception. He's had such a good night tonight.
One benefit of this game, the Saints are going to play talented teams.
Yep.
In the weeks ahead.
And White's trying to just score on one play.
And they're going to see other teams that have future Division I players. But I think now going into the future games, they can know that if they're focused, they can play against a team with 4 Division I commits on the offensive side of the football and hold them to no points.
Correct.
So that should be, I'm sure, a very positive sign for this group going forward.
Well, it should be. And this group, I will say this, they play together and play with and for each other. And if you do that, good things happen. It's a team game. It's not an individual game. Individuals can make some plays, but somebody else has to make it work.
Darius Gray in the backfield.
Penalties called. Delay a game. I think he didn't get it off in time. Well, Darius has got 1 touchdown. He may as well try to get 2. It's kind of fun to watch 74 with the football. He's that good an athlete. In fact, at one time, I was not sure he wasn't just going to try to play college basketball and college football.
He could somewhere. He is extremely special with physical gifts. Yes, he's so smart. Understands all the positions, and most importantly, though, he's a great competitor and he's a fantastic teammate.
So White comes back in to run it this time on first down. I think they want Darius to get a little closer to the end zone again to do the plunge. Or to try to go over the top, but they're not going to take another snap. Clock is going to run down, and the final score is going to be 17-0. St. Christopher's now 3-0 on the year, and Bullis falls to 1-2. And remember, next week's game is going to be at Norfolk Academy, 6:30 on Friday evening. And, Coach, I'm going to get out of the way to let you sign it off. And just once again, love being here with you this evening. It was all great. I really enjoyed being with you.
Well, thank you, Chip. It was great being with you. I might have to go back and watch the tape of us and try and take some notes on working with a true pro like you. But it was a lot of fun and great atmosphere at Knowles Field for a St. Christopher's win. Congratulations to Coach Clellan and the team on a resounding victory that was harder than a 17-0 score would suggest, but it was a very tough game against a very strong Bullis team. Good football for both squads that I think will serve them well down the line.
Yeah, good stuff. Enjoyed being here with you. You can sign this thing off. It's on you.
All right,
you gotta be the guy. You're the man.
Chip, thank you. And the Saints will move to 3-0, and we'll look forward to our game next week against the Bulldogs from Norfolk Academy. Thanks to all the viewers out there for supporting the Saints. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. All right, and we're back because we're going to actually try and do a post-game interview here with Coach Clellan. So if you didn't sign off, thanks for sticking with us. The Saints are going to huddle up at midfield, and they're going to have a little meeting, talk about the game. While they're doing that, we were talking about how Friday night is for high school football. If you're getting ready for college football tomorrow, we've got a number of Saints that will be in action. Matt Grant playing for Dayton, Josh Powell playing for Columbia. We have 4 Saints that are playing for the UVA football team.
Wow.
Andre Green Jr.,
Yeah.
Walker Wallace,
Yep.
lacrosse national champion at Cornell, is now with the Cavaliers. Henry Omohundro, and freshman Gavin Johnson, brother of Colin.
Yeah.
Wonderful guy, made the football team at UVA. So be sure to cheer on the Wahoos tomorrow as they play William and Mary. Trent Hendrick playing for JMU. Jaden Brown playing at Bridgewater. Jack Slocker kicking at Hampton-Sydney. And then this is an exciting one. Addison Gosline and Harrison Wood will be with the Spiders traveling down to Chapel Hill to see that coach is pretty good, Bill Belichick.
Well, he was good the second game.
Yeah.
The first game, he wasn't happy with that.
Yeah, well, some adjustments from pro to college,
Yeah.
but he'll probably figure it out. But a lot of Saints will be in action. And what I love about that list is the wide range of schools.
Right.
You have
That's awesome.
Virginia, Power 4,
Yeah.
guys that are on scholarship, guys that are just making the team, which is really neat. You've got Division
Really cool.
3, the FCS. And I think Coach Clellan and his staff have done a great job of making sure that the boys who want to play are looking at the right school that's a good academic and athletic fit. We got some guys on this team this year I think that we'll be playing on Saturdays in the fall too.
I don't think there's any question with that. I got to tell you, funny, we mentioned Edison Palumbo, and he was listening to the game. second half. He was working something at one of the at Penn State. He's at Penn State, and he's doing just sensational up there. And he said he had got caught up into doing homework. He was en route to see his girlfriend, and he said, I was listening to everything. So, Edison, I don't know if you stayed with us, but that was awfully nice of you to send the text. I really appreciate that.
Edison is a wonderful announcer. Really excited that he's going to continue on, with his work up at Penn State. It looks like we've got Coach Cleland coming up here to chat with us.
Oh, good.
So that's exciting. You want to do the interview, or you want me to do it?
No, you can do that.
I'll
hand the headset.
All right,
over.
thank you.
I want you to do this.
All right, this is exciting.
We're going to get you the headset. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, Chip. Yeah, good win. Boys.
Coach, good to see you.
What we got here?
We are here with head coach Lance Cleland. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. What were you most pleased about from your team?
Well, what a total team win, 17-0. I think we had 3 turnovers. So when you overcome that as a team, the togetherness, the effort, the attitude, never quit. We work hard, and you love those moments where those are rewarded. But certainly really, really tough opponent. They're super talented, and they could have struck at any time to make it closer. So,
Coach, how about your defense tonight? Bullis has 4 future Division I players on their offense, and you held them to no points tonight. How'd you do it? What was the key?
Well, I'll be truthful. Our defensive coordinator, Greg Toon, does a great job game planning, studies the opponent very hard, and really does a good job of preparing our scout team, offensive look team during the week. So obviously, I don't know if people know, but in football, you practice what the other team's going to do over and over and over again, and we were really well prepared. So he did a fantastic job. But those boys who necessarily didn't get a lot of time in the game tonight are bought in. They practiced really, really hard, and they tried to show what Bullis does expertly. And whenever you ever have a result when you give up 0 points, you win a lot of football games, and that's exactly what I told them in that huddle.
So you got 52 boys on your team. So how I'm sure everybody's going to be celebrating, and how are the starters going to be celebrating with the look team and giving them some love too?
Absolutely. Well, we give out reward stickers every week, and the bar is pretty high for the defense and the look team. And those look team guys, they're going to get a lot of attention this week. And they were coached up last week. Last week, those same group of boys got to get in the whole fourth quarter against Episcopal, and they got coached up this week based on that performance. And they did a great job all week of practice. So as much as I want to celebrate, obviously, all the guys that had interceptions tonight and great tackles and great sacks and great TFLs, the group I'm most proud about are the boys who show us during practice what the other team is doing. Our look team on offense, our look team on defense, and we do have 52 boys in the team. So a lot of boys are getting opportunities, and I'm just really proud of that group of young men tonight.
That's great, Coach. And Chase Roberts, a couple of interceptions off tip passes, kind of fluky plays, but in the second half, you were riding his legs, and he had some great runs, and then scored the deciding touchdown. How'd you feel about the perseverance of your quarterback tonight?
You named it, perseverance, right? We talk a lot about mental toughness here at St. Christopher's, and we talk about that on the football team. And I'm proud of their concentration, their focus. I'm proud of their grit, and I'm proud of their mental toughness overall. And Chase displayed that a lot as a quarterback. Everything you see him do is out there. The term Monday morning quarterbacks exists for a reason, right? And so he's exposed, but exactly right. He had 2 unlucky balls there early, but he stuck with it. He made some really good passes down, and he really got going. And then he's just as dangerous with his legs. He's a big, strong kid, and he has to be able to do that for us to be most effective as an offense.
One more question: your D-line. Your D-line. What can you say about them?
Yeah, well, they're relentless. They play. A couple of them play both ways, and but we have a good rotation in there. Austin Ertl is our defensive line coach, great young coach. We're super blessed to have him in our program this year, and he's coaching them up, and he's right along there with Coach Toon and Coach Julius Moore as the defensive coaches, getting guys right. But the D-line plays relentless. They play with fantastic effort. MJ Crocker, the starters are MJ Crocker, Darius Gray, Lance Cleland, and Drew Pendlebury, and a lot of boys rolling in there as well.
Coach, 3-0 against 3 good teams. Tough test for your team. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chip Tarkenton, I know, has got one question for you. I'll give it to him.
I'll make this clear. 3 games, you're only giving up 25 points for the whole year. That's pretty good. If you can shut folks down like that, you can win a lot of football games. Even I know that.
You got it. I learned a long time ago, I think it was the 2000 National Championship game. I was on a team in college that scored about 50 points a game, and unfortunately we gave up a whole lot of points too. But in the National Championship game that year, Oklahoma beat Florida State 13-2. And I'll never forget that, sitting on my couch in a dorm in college, even though I didn't know what I was going to do at the time don't know if coaching's in the future or whatever. But I remember that seminal moment. Josh Heupel was the quarterback, and I've said that to him when he came through and recruited Darius Gray, and he loved it because that's the truth. Defense does win a lot of football games, and you got to practice at it. You got to practice tackling. It's not fun. It's the hard work of football, and our boys are embracing it.
Congrats, Coach. Enjoy
Thanks,
the win
guys.
with your team.
Appreciate y'all. Great job tonight.
All right, we've got another interview. We've got Hill Butler down on the field with one of our defensive stars, Elijah Brandon, turning it over to Hill.
I'm here with EB Brandon, number 2. So, EB, first game at home, under the lights, walking away with a 17-0 victory. Good turnout. What does this do for the morale of the team?
Well, we did good as a team, but we prepared for it. We started in practice from Monday through Friday. We competed. We knew Bullis was a great team from Maryland, and we knew.
Looks like we just lost the audio with EB. So we're sorry about that. Chip, do we got any final stats here before we sign off? Did we get those game stats?
They were somewhere. Hang on. They moved around because everybody came through and started moving stuff for us. So let's see. I think we did. Coach, did you get us final stats?
We're looking to see if we've got some final stats here.
Yes,
We got them right here. All right. So final score 17-0 Saints. If we look at it, time of possession pretty even at 23 for Bullis and 24 and some change for the Saints. Rushing, the Saints, wow, 29 carries for 237 yards. I can't say enough about that offensive line. One thing I love about Coach Clellan, recognizing the contributions of all the team members. Football's the ultimate team game, but when you're rushing for 237, something's going right. Aiden White with 172. Chase Roberts with 65. But how about the blocking up front from that offensive line to clear those running lanes? Passing yards, 66 for Bullis and 107 for the Saints. So nice job. And again, responding to the adversity. J.J. Tidwell, 4 catches for 83 yards, including 2 ones that are definitely highlight catches with the touchdown and the shoestring.
Absolutely.
Chip, anything else that kind of jumps out at you?
Well, the tackles, I think, is unique because, you got 4 folks that are making a lot of tackles. You've got 22 of the tackles made by these 4 guys.
Elijah Brandon, Drew Pendlebury, Darius Gray, and M.J. Crocker.
Yeah.
And, again, another punting, punting is a very important play. Flips the field. How about William Sterling? 4 kicks for 155 yards, averaging 38.8.
37 at halftime, so he knocked it up even the second half.
And a long of 55.
Yeah, it was crushed.
So, again, ultimate team win tonight. Saints are going to have to feel good about this one. I know they're not going to be satisfied. They're going to want to clean some things up, some of the penalties, maybe get the timing right so that those tip passes or completions next time. But it's still early, and I think they're going to work on it, and it's nice to have things to work on after a win.
And if you're 3-0, there's a lot of things that are right.
That's right.
It doesn't matter
right.
who you're playing and when it is in the year. But if you're 3-0, that's pretty good.
3-0, and when you say there are a lot of things that are right, the chemistry, the demeanor.
Absolutely.
It's a team that reflects confident maturity with how they handle the ups and downs of the game, and that is a very good thing to see.
You can tell they play together. You can tell there's a camaraderie, but there's also I got your back, and they make plays for each other. And I think that's probably one of the most impressive things that I see in this team. So I think they're going to have a great season. I don't see them having too many places that are what you'd call problems or deficit. I don't see very many of any of those. They're going to be a tough team to beat whoever's playing them. They are really just talented.
It's going to be fun, and for all of you watching at home, thank you. Let's also make sure to come out and support the Saints and cheer these guys on in person because they are a sight to behold.
They are.
So, Chip, thanks again. What an honor and a
two
pleasure.
Sign-offs.
Let's do. I know 2 sign-offs. Let's do it again sometime.
Well, thanks for having me. Really appreciate you and Coach Lewis, and y'all know if y'all need me, you know where I am.
And thanks to Hill for letting us step in
He
and his
did a
great
great job.
reporting, and we got Phillip here working. Hill, any final thoughts? We were having some camera trouble.
Yeah, I think
We'll see.
See if that works.
it's a pretty good game to watch. Certainly entertaining. Great one to start off with under the lights. I think that really does a lot for the team morale.
All right. Well, Hill, it was a pleasure. Good job.
Good job.
We'll see you next time. Go Saints.
Controlled by Gray. Darius Gray goes up strong.
Roberts going deep on the first play. Has Sherrod Johnson.
Finds Cosby in the corner. His three-pointer. It's good.
In the quadruple coverage. Jaden Brown came down with that football.
In the corner, Burnett. Three-pointer. Bang!
Burnett, his three is good.
Brown gets a screen from Gregory. Gets in the lane. Blocked by Gray!
No, please don't! No, please don't!